afternoon. So, friends, last time we had quite a turbulent session. We'll start us off, as always, with a bit of a recap. Yes. Previously, the party of ours spent some time in Singorn, the elven capital of Tal'Dorei. We talked about some of our plans and hopes of perhaps restoring the minds of the Red Path members, who now we are suspecting might be influenced in some ways. Bella spent some time, visited Arthusa, and took a little small vacation in the Feywild, apparently, before the party headed on out and spoke to both Tenuviel, mother of our own druid here, Bryn, and Althea. The sort of sister-in-law, or like seemingly what we've kind of figured out, pretending to be the granddaughter of that sister-in-law, of her husband, of her still missing, still not found lover out there somewhere. So we sort of spent some time with them. It really seems that the relationship between Tenuviel and her daughter is even more strained than before, and now especially that the mentions of her father have come to conversation. The father that Tenuviel did not want to sort of give any, well, not much information about, to which Bryn decided that, fine, I'll do it myself. I'll find him myself. There was a conversation with Althea as well. We learned from her that the previous voice of memory died during a time similar-ish time slot of Vecna's ascension, the god of secrets and necromancy, of foul arcana, his ascension to godhood last year. Our conversations were, however, interrupted in the end by Jorman and Ash, who brought an onslaught of undead and demonic creatures with them into the sylvan city of Singorn. All the while, trying to make away with a branch from that sequoia of remembrance. Through some very clever spells and positioning and devastating dispel magic spell, Ash was forced to leave without the branch, but with the soul of Jorman, seemingly. Upon a dispel magic being cast, multiple strange magical wards activated, and some sort of a punishment sequence or some sort of a contingency went off. His eyes blew out of his head in a bloody gore. His ears bled, and viscera almost came out of his mouth. He fell dead to the ground. At which moment Ash absorbed some sort of essence from as if his soul. As she was teleported away, as sort of smooth and cocky and sort of arrogant that she was, in the very end, due to some quick comboed sort of reactions, we did manage to sort of shoot that branch out of her hand. As she left, Bryn used some of her magic to bring Jorman back to life. Found his soul trapped in a strange red cage alongside Sorix, as well as what kinda looked to be Sky. Just now, a bunch of these Wardens of Singorn, these skilled elven warriors, each of which has trained in the ways of blade and magic for hundreds of years, approach ready to capture these terrorists. They got ready to drag Jorman off to prison, and Sky sort of volunteered to go with him, to sort of accompany him. As that happened, Roxy and Casimir picked up the destroyed branch that Ash tried to abscond with, and found on it, written in Elven tongue, the names of the missing candidates for the Voice of Memory. Of course, the only two remaining being Tenuviel and Althea. So, as the rest of you sort of look ahead and look on, you see as these elves surround. By the way, you guys, just looking at these elven folk here, they are like gliding with, like, moving along with both sort of perfected grace and dangerous weaponry enchanted upon them that you see in magical armors and such. You guys look at all these guards and realize, like, yeah, fighting these guys is not an option, right? There is more than 50, 60 of them at this point as they begin to sort of drag off. Mostly focused on Jorman here, right? Based on what they've seen, what has happened during the battle. They are going to come up with whatever judgment awaits him. As Sky, you are brought along with him. You are brought into this large section of the city where you can see tall vines that wrap around the trees, and these vines sort of dangle down to hold what almost look like these oversized lanterns made of sort of iron bark wood wrapped in razor sharp almost kind of marble-covered leaves, as these dangling prison cells sort of loom from above. You are brought up into this tree, and then both you and Jorman are placed into a cell. They take your weapons, they take your armor, they take any sort of magical inventory that you might have. In fact, they mostly take like all of your inventory. You are left in basically like your everyday clothing. They place both of you in this prison and leave you there for a moment. You are currently in this area of the city called the Barrel Keep. I'll move you back to this lovely elven city. As that happens and you're sort of led off, the sky above, the sort of beautiful night sky filled with stars and the moon that appeared above, as if the presence of the moonweaver Sahanin in this very moment fades away, and we see Tenuviel sort of look around as she has just commanded these guards to sort of walk off and take these guys away. She walks on up sort of slowly over to Bryn and kind of looks you up and down, says, your skills have greatly increased, daughter. However, I'm afraid your evaluation will have to wait. I'd like you to explain what just happened. Why one of your allies chooses to share imprisonment with a terrorist.
Because we've been following these terrorists for some time now, and she knows them personally, and I dispelled the magic on him, and that's when the failsafe happened, when he got killed. I brought him back because he knows everything about the people who just attacked you.
Sort of thinks on it for a moment and looks back and says, just so you are fully aware, when the High Warden inquisits about the ongoings of this moment, when they ask of what my fair judgment of what should be done with these would-be assailants on the Sequoia of Remembrance should be, should your friend, your ally, choose to side with this villain that's just been captured, my fair judgment would be that both are either banished forever or executed for their crimes.
I mean, on the topic of execution, I'm just saying that if he was being mind controlled, I think exile's probably the better route. If he can prove it. I mean, I dispelled the magic. If I need to bear witness, I will.
You see Althea that sort of walks out of the building there. Roxy, you sort of help her walk out. She's like shaking still, right? She just saw a giant ape demon punch through a wall trying to rip her head off, right? She's like horrified, but she's sort of stepping on out, looking around. She starts looking to see if there's anyone that like needs help, but she sort of expanded a lot of her magic for today. Althea sort of walks up and you see some of these guards are gathered. She says, these are the same people that tried to kill me already, This is the second time, If it's up to me, I don't think they deserve exile. It'll only encourage them to return once more,
Yeah, but you're not understanding. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is he wasn't under his own control. That succubus, that demon that you saw, her, the red one, she was the one who was controlling him. Now that
Althea
that's
sort of looks a
over...
little... Yeah, Althea looks a little sort of like, kind of, not sure what to say, kind of worried that she might be in the wrong, that she might be harsh. Tenuvial, however, doesn't flinch at all. Says, weakness of mind is no excuse.
Right, well, if it was someone that I knew and someone that I care about, I'd give them a second chance to explain themselves.
And you see her, like, that gets her, right, for a moment. That sort of hits her, and she sort of looks back. And you see her pause and sort of think for a moment. She says, I hope your friend can learn what they need to learn. If with your magic and your sense of mind you are certain that this person had no choice in their involvement, and if you're able to prove this, I will listen to your counsel. I will advocate for banishment, but no less.
Understandable.
And I don't think, because Bryn fucking hates her mom, but I don't think Bryn notices, but some of you that are sort of nearby notice that Tenuvial, who was like, I'm gonna tell the queen to kill this person, right? After, like, it takes a while, it takes a negotiating with her, right? But she moves a little bit from that. She softens a little bit and moves from that, like, all right, fine. We'll go for the second worst thing, right? Still not like a warm, pleasant, like I listen to the advice of my daughter type of stuff, but like change your mind, right? Even slightly, even if it's slightly, right? Althea sort of looks back to Roxy and says, I don't understand why these people, they don't... You've seen them in the Underdark as well, huh? They didn't seem mind-controlled.
I mean, I have no idea if they're mind-controlled. I don't know, we haven't really talked to them, so we don't really know. But trust me, if they're not mind-controlled, they will be dealt with a lot worse than being banished, and I can promise you that.
You see her kind of give a worried look, but it kind of nods, says, that's maybe for the best. I need to go. Well, my room is destroyed. I think I'll go to the temple instead. And she sort of returns to, use whatever healing and medicine ability she has on some of the guards nearby, as she begins to sort of head on out. Tenuvial kind of turns and looks to you, Casimir, and says, outsider, the branch, return it now. And as the rest of these guards realize you're holding this branch, they start doing insane amount of acrobatics, flipping around until 7 glaives are pointed at your neck, a bunch of swords are drawn near you and are just pointing bows in your direction.
Actually, I was going to ask, which branch do I have?
Well, the one that Ash was going to teleport away.
You got split in half, right? Roxy has half, I have half.
Yeah, presumably the way it was split, one of it would just be a branch in the bark, and the other part would be the thinner part where the ends with the actual leaves on it.
Okay. Casimir will hand it over.
Yeah. Roxy, if you have the other one, they will like do the same to you. Like return the branch immediately. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just two Nuvios asking.
She says, yeah, to both of you guys, and as soon as she says, 20 guards run up and start surrounding you. Of like, don't you like, just so you guys like, don't try running away with it or something like that.
I mean, be a little bit thankful. Could have been gone through a portal.
She sort of looks back at you, says, or it could have never been injured or touched at all. But here we are now.
Regardless of whether or not we were here or not, they would have attended it anyways.
He sort of thinks on it, looks back to Bryn, looks back to you guys, says, maybe I've been too distracted lately then.
My question is, how did you, your people, not know they were coming in?
She sort of turns to look at you and says, my people have prospered for thousands of years, staying away from the business of the world, the dangers and the recklessness of your people. So, before you ask us how this came to pass, maybe you should look to the exception to the rule. Strangers in our lands.
Just evading the question. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm used to it. Don't. It's normal, Casimir. She's like this.
Yes, we went over to the Underclock to save one of your own to come in here to kill the people who are trying to steal the branch because we really want to steal the branch. You make no fucking sense.
She looks back, says, your business is your own. We are asking you return our holy relic.
Maybe you wanted the branch stolen so people can't know your secrets. Maybe you helped them get in here.
You see these like guards start to look on around. Roxy, you hear like someone casting a spell behind you. There's a guard who's about to like blast you with a fireball, right? For like speaking like in this way to like the high priestess, right? She raises her hand and says, enough. Your vote doesn't matter. You're not a part of our world, and you never will be.
That's what you think. And she'll throw the branch.
Yeah, you see one of the guards like leaps for it and grabs it before it touches the ground. She looks back to the whole group and says, I will be reporting what happened here to the High Warden. They will decide what your fate is to be. Until then, stay where you have stayed before. Whatever inn or tavern allowed you to reside. That is all. And these guards sort of like lower their weapons and everything, and they take these branches and begin to sort of take them back to the Sequoia. You see that Tenuvia walks on over and begins to inspect this like branch with the leaves and everything, as Althea sort of goes to join her for a moment, as Tenuvia sort of like basically commands her, like commands Althea to like we got to work now. Come with me, right? And the two of them sort of go towards this Sequoia of Remembrance, this holy tree of elven memories. You all begin to walk your way back to the city. Through the city. After everything that has happened, a lot of these people here are now sort of looking to you guys as if like, dangerous strangers that brought trouble. Meanwhile, as we return to the Barrel Keep, some 20, maybe 30 minutes later, we see laying there currently, slowly waking up from his painful unconsciousness, is Jorman. This previously armored knight, we now sort of get to see him in his common clothing. He wears fine clothing, a little ripped and torn at this point, covered in his own blood, dried mostly at this point. He is broad and sort of muscular of build, he begins to sort of wake up, and you see he sort of jolts a little kind of frightened momentarily and kind of waves his hand out in front of him. You see just two sort of like bloody red indentations where his eyes used to be. Sky, you're sitting on the other side of this little cage here. It's like a 20 by 20 type of a space here that dangles. There's about a 90-foot drop underneath you guys into what seems to be like a river going by. There is a set of guards in what is this is like basically like a treehouse prison, right? There's a bunch of guards that are sort of just like nearby, looking on out and such. Casimir, they would have taken his eyes out. Those are magic items. They would have taken his they would have taken him and put him in a chest for him to claim later, depending on what his judgment is meant to be. They're not gonna let him have his eyes back because they're magic items. They don't know what he might be able to do with them. As he begins to sort of wake up, he looks on around, sort of a little confused, and you see him sort of grab at the side of his ribs, where many of your shots sort of landed through his armor. He's sort of badly bruised. And I don't think he knows anyone's nearby, right? He's just sort of like breathing heavily. What do you do? Jess, you there?
Helps my mic's not muted from trying not to choke on a tortilla chip.
Welcome back.
So she sits there for a moment and watches him move about, and sees him reach for his side and kind of wince when he touches it. And from where she's been sitting, sort of watching down below, she'll glance up. Fucking hurts, don't it?
He jumps immediately, sort of frightened, and kind of looks around and says, What is... Who's there?
It's been that long, you already forgot who I
am. His eyeless lids sort of widen for a moment. He says, Skyleth?
Yeah, just Sky. We're not gonna stand on formality at the moment.
You're alive.
Yeah, no shit. I figured, when I was pumping you full of holes and cutting you to fucking ribbons, that would have dawned on you.
But that... I don't under... And you see a moment of sort of confusion and sort of kind of realization dawning on him. He says, we were told that you were gone after that night, that only something horrible and different and perverted was left of you. Is that really you?
She'll lean across the cell, and she just kind of grabs his wrist and pulls it up, and she kind of sets it to the side of her face. I mean, unless there's another one of me running around out there somewhere.
You see him grit his teeth in a moment of realization, in a heart-crushing moment. He would cry if he had his eyes, right? It's just blood pouring down the side of his face. He says, she said, the Red Prince, she said that there's so much... Oh my god.
Calm down. What exactly did she tell you?
She said that... And then he sees another moment of realization, just so much, right? He's going through his mind at the moment. He says, Sorik, did he as well? What have I done?
Don't... Look, one thing at a time. What did he tell you? Because this is very important.
So much has happened. That night, when the Red Prince came, they said there was something very important, a ritual for them to truly sort of manifest. They needed someone akin to them, someone powerful, who would willingly give themselves They said that you were chosen. That you would be confused. Oh God, we put you on that table. I thought. And he sort of looks in the direction of you, says, I am so sorry.
That's all you have to say?
The Red Prince. She said that it was her and Armand. They said that it was your turn. You were to be the first one, the first step on the red path. Where are we? How much time has gone by? I need to get out of here. I need to find the others. The Red Prince. She put something in my mind.
What I want to know is, when Ash came to you and said all of that, did she do anything to you all beforehand? You all willingly slabbed me across that table and do what you did.
He sort of looks in your up, sort of where he thinks your direction is. He says, she said you were chosen for it, that you would be confused and maybe even scared, but that through you, the Red Prince would be properly born again. We believed, I believed this whole time that you were the Red Prince. You were Ash. All of us did.
So, telling me of your own volition, y'all tried to fucking kill me.
He sort of looks around in confusion. He says, I believed that it was meant to be our ascension.
Yeah, no. She took everything about me. And left me like this. Actually, she didn't do it. Apparently y'all did.
You see, he sort of moves his hand for a moment and tries to sort of clench it, make a fist, right? And he tries to move his fingers, and there's something like wrong, and it kind of scares him. He says, "My magic.
Yeah, it's gone.
Something's wrong. Gone? How? How can that be?"
Well, you want the short explanation, or do you want the long philosophical explanation?
Whichever one you'll give.
Ash did to you what she did to me. Took it and made it part of herself. And now you're just as empty and pathetic as I was first happened.
That's impossible. I've worked so much. I've given so much. I've trained every day of my life.
I'm sure you have. I did too. And now I ain't got nothing. Oh, I mean, I got a gun and a will to kick everybody's ass around me. I mean, I owe you all that much. Certainly did give me a sort of fighting vigor that I never thought I had. And a certain streak of cruelty that I never thought I was capable of.
Sky, I know that you will never forgive us. But I hope you know that I thought I was fighting along my sister all these years. I never even knew you were gone. All we knew was that some residual, unfiltered, primal part of you was left that we heard about when our dealings in Stilben went sideways. When I saw you, I thought for certain we found that demonic side of you that was cast aside when you ascended to become Ash. I know that
Yeah.
I know I don't deserve any sort of penance or forgiveness, but I at least want you to know that.
Oh, she's not wrong. Everything that was good about me was taken that night. Everything that's left is, in fact, a twisted sort of demonic presence. Figuratively, of course, not literally.
Our magic is gone. That should be impossible. We are no patrons to a grand creature. We are no warlocks or witches. We are mages, skilled in arcane. How?
Well, I'm gonna venture it had something to do with that ritual y'all did. You know, cutting me open and throwing me out on that stone fucking altar. There was, a moment where I watched everything sort of like well up and this light just kind of like rip out of me. Like a hand started rifling around on my insides. That was before I passed out. Really fucking hurt.
I don't know if Sky would care in this moment, right? But you see a deep look of sort of like realization and shame on his face. All these years, we've been fools. Kai and Arenya, they thought I don't. The others, they don't know either. Guy, we have to do something.
Yeah, I've been thinking long about that. Had a lot of years to sit and stew on it. And I had a little bit of hope when I had seen some stuff earlier that what had happened was y'all being manipulated magically. That she had put some sort of spell on you.
I felt it when your ally cast the dispelling on me. So many things happened at once. My memories fogged up in a veil of red mist. Things I was made to forget. Details not to remember.
How much of what happened that night was locked behind that fog?
And you see him sort of trying to like think and remember. He looks back to you, says, "If you had the ability to read my mind, I would let you happily. But you'll just have to trust my word. Magicless as we both now are. The last night, I remember, of you as you were. I remember you approaching. You were happy. You were there willingly. You began to panic as we began, but he was already going at that point, and we heard a voice of the Red Prince saying that it's nothing. That you're just worried. That you're losing belief in the red path. Then you stop moving. We were told then by Armand to leave the room, that he would finish the ritual. I don't know what... Later, maybe an hour later, you came out different, stronger, better, faster, most talented mage. Although your appearance has somewhat changed. Your skin became red. You grew horns. You were Ash. You said, I don't know, said that the fire must burn out for there to be ash. I believed at least then that it was you. But when that dispelling happened, oh God, I remember your face. And you see he sort of gulps, he like swallows hard as his arm almost like... You're still sort of holding his arm, like his wrist, right, to the side of your face. You feel his hand sort of like tremble for a moment. He says, I remember your tears. Your face. You weren't smiling, you were shocked. You move out of the way. You're super fast, so you move out of the way as he turns to his side and just, like, vomits on the ground, right? He, like, sick to his stomach.
Yeah. Good.
He is, like, about to pass out. He's, like, exhausted. His fucking eyes got exploded out of his head, right? So he's, like, fucked up. So he's, like, in and out of consciousness a little bit here. He's a little sort of, you know...
Yeah, she kind of, like, sees that, and she, like, does that whole, like... grabs him by the lower jaw and twists his head around, does the little, like...
Yeah,
face
yeah,
pat,
slap him.
Like, hey, he ain't passing out yet.
I don't know what to say. The others...
Not a whole lot you can. What's done's done, and... even if it wasn't your fault, there's a lot that happened that I can't forgive. But
He looks to you. He's always been like a proud person, right? And he kind of looks to you and says, "You never should. You were my sister, and I." And you see, as if he's like about to like pass out or vomit again, one of the two, right? As he's just sort of like lost in sort of like grief, right? And he's the whole time thinking, talking, and saying like, "Hey, hello, Nick." He doesn't say that, but hello, Zach. Welcome. As he's passing out and vomiting, he says, "Hey, Zach, welcome. Jump on in, strap in, and let's go. Good to have you." So,
On my way.
yeah, no worries. As you're there in the prison cell with him, as you're there with Jorma, he says, the rest of them, you need to tell them, let them know that this is not real. The path, it leads to something entirely different.
yeah, I figured that out a long time ago.
Derival, Arenya, Kenneth, they need to know.
They will.
I have to do something.
You ain't gonna do shit, Jorman.
You say that as you sort of look sideways, and there's like two archers trained on you guys. Because you're close, you're talking, right? They don't know if you guys are doing something. They're just keeping an eye out. I can't just lay here, powerless. I need to work again. I need to relearn my magic. I need to...
It doesn't work that way.
What?
Doesn't work that way. There's nothing for you to relearn. Whatever was inside of you is gone. I have tried for 10 years to recapture that.
He
Girl.
looks at you sort of like devastated. Magic is who I am.
Yeah.
All I am.
Well, you're pretty fucking good with a sword, ain't you?
It doesn't... My sword, it augments my magic, my skill.
Yeah, well,
It's...
you know, funny thing about swords, they have a real fucking pointy end. Turns out if you actually stab people with it, fucking die.
Sort of looks back to you and says, Sky, I know I am not worth your forgiveness, so I will ask for none. I have stolen a life from you. Mine is yours to decide what to do with. And I think he passes out. He's like beyond exhausted, right? He just fully passes out.
Fuck. She's gonna look to the guards and kind of like in Elven. Can I get something to clean this up with? Fucking stinks.
They sort of look you over and say, this person has caused great harm to our city. If you wish, you can be relocated to another cell, but he will get no such privileges.
So you're just gonna leave him here in his vomit.
The man
elves-
summoned demons in our hometown where children live. He will get no
Actually-
such privileges.
If you knew anything about what you saw, he didn't summon them. They stepped through a fucking portal, which he did not open.
One of them like stares at you as if like wanting to like argue, and the other one says, "It's close enough." Let's just squint.
Right. Well, as I'm here in the cell, then do me a fucking kindness. Bring me a towel so I can clean this mess up. It's just a towel. I ain't gonna burn down all of Singorn with a fucking towel.
One of them like whispers, like, "What if they're towel martial artists? What if we risk everything by giving?" And the other guy like puts a hand up, like, "It's all right." Give me a persuasion roll, because these guys are like realizing you're not really a prisoner here. Are you elected to be a prisoner to get close to this guy to maybe learn something from him? But they're still like willing to kind of listen. 17, yeah, absolutely. One of them kind of nods to another, and they bring you a silk sheet that's like 12 foot long, and they give it to you.
Y'all don't have like cloth or something that's just silk?
Do you not want it?
I mean, it's... She takes it like it's just...
It's the softest fabric you've ever held in your life.
This
As-
would easily go for like several hundred gold in Marquette, and you giving it to me to wipe up bodily secretions? Fucking
One of them almost like gets a little sick when you say the word secretions, and the guard says, "Do whatever cleaning you wish to do." As
Alright, she'll wipe up the
you,
vomit and toss the silk rag back. Like, alright, there we go. Have at it.
they immediately take it, bring it over to a torch, and burn it.
I fucking
As-
hate elves. They're so pretentious.
Demonic slime came from that man, and they burn it. Yeah. You remain there for a few hours, right? He's gonna be passed out for like until long rest is finished, right? He's been through some rough stuff. At any point, Sky, if you wish, you can be like, all right, let me out. I don't need to stay here anymore, right? Because you like accepted to go with him in hopes of like learning stuff, and they were sort of aware of that. So you don't need to like stay in there if you don't want to. In the bird cage.
In a weird big sister sort of way, she feels obligated, so she's gonna stay.
Okay.
Fucking weird ass emotions.
Mm-hmm. You remain. The rest of the party, you guys gather at that small inn down at the Reverie Walks, where you've sort of secured a room. People are still sort of there's a hubbub above about the town, talking about the events of what just happened. As you guys finally sort of sit down together there, what do you guys talk about? What is the plan now? We've sort of done what we set out for, right? We came all the way out here. We saved the one of these elven oracles. We saved Althea. We brought her back, and now all of this has sort of happened. You don't exactly know what Sky knows yet, but your business here in Singhorn is about to conclude. Like Tenuviel said, you guys might all just be banished from the city because you showed up and a bunch of bullshit happened, and it's really easy to blame foreigners. So, as you guys gather and sit down, what do you speak about? What do you talk of?
I wonder what Sky is doing. Perhaps getting information?
Hope she's figured something out.
What did you do with the branch?
The elves made you give it back.
I figured as much. So that makes sense. I would prefer to have access to the city, if possible.
Well, we still do have the elven art coming. Maybe we can buy some, I don't know, some grace with that.
I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It's like, I understand banning Jorman, but like, why are they gonna ban us? It doesn't make any sense. Like, they really don't make any sense. For people who can sit around and think for a long time, like, they don't really think, do they?
It seems not.
They're kind of zealots, aren't they? They easy to sell a story?
No. No.
Friend,
Easy to sell.
your mother wants you here. She's not gonna ban you.
Yeah, well, I mean, just because she wants me here doesn't mean I'm gonna stay.
Yeah, but the whole point is that she wants you here. She can't do that if you're exiled. So. I'm not saying you have to tell her you're going to stay here, but do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get it, because I mean, like, I don't care. I'll trick her. I don't give a shit. She's only my mother in title.
I wonder.
She did help us a lot in that fight, though.
I mean, it's her city.
She's not going to be able to do that if she's the voice of memory. They're going to hide her in the tower when danger comes. I think you might want to remind her of that.
I wonder what Ash was going to do with the branch.
Or maybe they just need the voice of memory, and if they can't get the voice of memory, they just steal it out of a branch.
Well, we know the missing candidates are gone from the tree. Or burnt.
I wonder if, so, when you become the voice of memory, you assume all the memories of elves past. I wonder if those elves on the branch were involved with the Red Path. Not saying like they, like personally, but maybe killed by the Red Path. And there's no voice right now. So that nobody knows what actually happened to them.
Maybe they were taken. Maybe they have them.
And
Maybe
that's
they're
why
one
they
by
took
one
the
taking
branch.
them. Yeah, maybe one by one they were trying to take them.
What
Trying to
what
tie
if,
up
So,
loose ends.
based on I will mention, and to interject here for a moment here, any of you who want to can give me a history roll on how this sort of like voice of memory thing actually works, right? How the position actually works and such. Those of you who speak Elven language can have advantage. Bryn, yeah,
Well-
that's appropriate. You didn't care. You tried not to care best you could your whole life. Excellent. Let's see.
Oh, no.
Mhm. Well,
These
Yeah,
elven
Bella.
people are weird.
elves are hot, is what you know for sure. Excellent. Let's see here. Casimir with a 15, Roxy with a 14. Okay, with the two there, the way this title works, this voice of memory has been a title that is sort of passed down every few hundred years. It's usually an individual of incredible wisdom and incredible sort of magical divine priestly powers. The voice of memory has access to memory of every single elf that ever lived. When elves pass away, their memories return to the Sequoia of Remembrance, the tree. And the voice of memory can interact with the tree to gain those memories. So it's not like they permanently have every single elven life memorized in their heads, right? That would make him like omniscient. That would make them like all powerful, whatever. No, they have a sort of direct channel to the memory and every single past life of elves on Exandria, right? So yeah, it is what you with that role believe. What that makes sense to you is whoever is the voice of memory gets to interact with these memories of elven lives, right? Those who do not inherit that title can't. Simply, there is no knowledge. The knowledge is passed down, and simply there is no knowledge to be people just wouldn't know how to interact with the tree without being the voice of memory.
Do we know that the elven people have to make that choice, or is there a ritual that just makes them become the voice of memory?
That you're not sure. With your 14 and 15, you guys don't know how this ritual happens and such. You just know about the title itself. But it's believed that powerful sorcerers are magical clerics and sorcerers are present for this coronation or inheritance or however that works.
So we know that she wanted the branch, and it had the two names of Althea and your mother.
No,
No,
I
no,
had the missing.
it did not. It did not have the names of them because they
Oh.
are still alive, right? It had the names of all the other candidates for the
Oh,
voice
so
of
the missing
memory. But you
candidates
guys,
were
you guys heard that some of the candidates of voice of memory dropped out or decided not to go for the title or just disappeared doing their own thing. But as you sort of looked up on the branch, you saw the names of these because Roxy did some research back in Western and learned a list of names of these candidates and immediately recognized in Elven of okay, they're the names. These are the actual names of the people who are not present anymore. By how the voice of memory and the Sequoia of Remembrance, this tree of Elven memory works, you would know that means those people have died and moved to become leaves on this tree. Yeah.
And if someone wants to channel their memories, the voice of memory can channel their memories. And there is no current voice?
Correct. The voice of memory, her name was Oestra. She passed away under, it's very hush-hush, but believed to be strange, mysterious, maybe natural heart attack type of circumstances last year when
It was
Vecna ascended to
right, yeah.
godhood.
I remember that.
So let's say, right, the Red Path has a person who's going to be the voice of memory in their pocket, right? And the other person wins. And they look into these missing people. Couldn't they see that other person was helping them?
I was thinking something along the same lines. What if we're looking at the wrong way? What if those candidates in particular know something about what Ash is up to, and she doesn't want that memory known?
Yeah, that's sort of what I said. I said, I think if they're dead, then it's the only tie linking them to what happened to them, what their last moments were.
Right.
And if
but
Ash
why would
wants
Ash
them,
care
it's
Unless she was involved somehow.
involved. Exactly.
If there is a person that was an elven person that knows whatever she wants to get done, she will need a person on her side who can get access to that tree. She was probably taking them out one by one. And whoever is working with them is one of the two that are left.
But it doesn't make sense because my mother wouldn't work with them. Like, as much as I dislike her, she's very proud. And if she lost Althea, which she would hate herself if she did, she wouldn't resort to the Red Path. And she has the support of the city, like we saw it. I don't think she's really vying for the vote here.
And if she was in league with the Red Path, do you think the moon goddess she calls to would have aided her as quickly as she did?
No, and that's my point. Unless she was tricked.
Yeah, he's backing
which-
up your thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's agreeing with you.
Also, yeah, what you guys saw during the battle there, that was some serious shit, right? It was like a divine intervention level of shit. Fucking night, the day became night for a moment, right? And then the whole fight happened afterwards, so... some serious power.
We still... we see that your mother has the city's approval, right? Power from the city.
Mhm.
Althea doesn't seem to have that kind of protection. How do we get her that kind of protection?
I mean, we're not respected here. We're not going to get her that kind of protection. That's the thing.
Okay, but how does she get it?
They're becoming the voice of memory.
Did Roxy mention to us that she thinks that Althea is really herself?
No, she wouldn't
Okay,
have
she
told you
didn't-
guys.
okay.
I would not have told anybody that, no.
You guys know, did these roles last time, that the voice of memory will become the candidate. The candidate who will become the voice of memory is the most spirited, most powerful, and most like tied to the elven culture and people, right? So there's like 3 parameters to it. Both Tenuviel and Althea meet these requirements to some point. That's why they were like candidates for this, right? Which means they are closely matched, presumably, in like levels of power or spirituality or stuff like that, right?
Out of curiosity, though, because like we saw Bryn's mom like just decimate like crazy, but we have not seen anywhere near the display of power from Althea.
Althea, you saw healing. She used a very powerful healing spell when you guys first met. She has like a heal spell, like the actual like level 6 heal spell on one of you guys. During it, she cast like mass cure wounds before on you guys. She does like mass healing word. So her spells mostly just seem to be like powerful healing spells, while Tenuviel is throwing out fucking radiant blasts and super powerful like damaging stuff.
I think I was gone when that happened, so I'm like, I don't
You
remember.
were, I believe you were not there when the first fight, when Archon the Cruel showed up. You weren't in the fight there, but yeah, she threw out some like powerful healing spells.
Gotcha.
So she's got some oomph, right? She's got some power, but in comparison, from your guys' personal experiences with these 2 people, Tenuviel seems more powerful. I think as you guys are sort of thinking of what to do here, Bella, you feel a little sort of like a clicking sound in the back of your mind. as all the noise of elven song goes away. All that calmness and tranquility sort of goes away and is filled fully with silence, emotionless silence. And you hear the voice of Vasils speak into your mind with a little messaging spell and says, "Greetings. This is Vasil Summerin. We previously met in the city of Stilben. I was wondering if I could have..." And then the spell cuts off because he ran out of words. A moment after, another message arrives. It says, "Greetings, this is Vasil again. I was hoping to learn if I should be looking for other hiring options. I gave you a month before..." And then the spell cuts off again. After a moment, another one arrives, says, "Greetings, this is Vasil. I was hoping to find out if I should be looking for other adventurers. I will give you 2 weeks to respond."
Okay, let me check. Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me, but yes. Okay. Bye.
After a moment, a sending spell arrives saying, "Yes, I heard that." And that's it.
Okay. Thanks.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was just all related to the party. Vasil wants to know if we're taking his job or he needs to find somebody else.
I mean, eventually, right?
He says he needs. I mean, we keep leading him on. We keep not doing the job. So he said, what did he say? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, we need to be there in 2 weeks.
Elves take forever for everything.
We can't leave this place like we're stuck, right?
Yeah, like today, right? They're mostly just sort of reporting over to the High Warden and figuring out like what the deal should be with this, like terrorist, right? Who showed up with a bunch of like evil creatures. But you guys are not necessarily like they told you like stay in the tavern, but presumably like within like few hours, aka like today, they will probably report back to you like what's up with you guys.
Because she's been thinking a lot about a lot of things and she's kind of pacing and she wants to talk to Althea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to go over to that temple? Because I got a few questions for my mom anyways.
I mean, I'm not going to see your fucking mom, but if
No,
you
I
wanna
mean
go by
we could split
yourself-
off. I mean we could split off after we got to the tower.
That's fine.
Okay, excellent.
Do you think you'd be safe in the tower? Should we escort you, or can we do something else?
Like me or her?
I'm talking about to myself.
I mean, it's up to you. I think you'll be fine.
No, I'm saying, do you need escort? Do Casimir and I need to go with each of
No,
you, or
um,
can we?
No, I kind of don't want anyone there when I'm talking to my mom. Some personal questions.
All right, personal stuff. Got it.
Yeah, yes, the city.
Off to see
Love it.
artists.
Mm-hmm. You guys step on out, start walking. Very similar reactions to you guys. Now the people have heard there's been some trouble. One person points and looks over like, "Oh my goodness, a half elf," and another one's like, "Oh my goodness, a blue elf," right? As they're like, "Oh my god, this is weird." As you guys make your way through the city, you see 2 guards approach you at some point as you guys are walking down the path of the revelry walks. 2 guards approach you, say, "You are the ones that were involved with the event earlier today. We are here to keep you escort, making sure nothing else goes wrong."
Okay.
You won't even notice us here. And they step away like 2 feet.
Yeah, highly doubt that.
Oh, where'd they go? I don't know where they went.
We are right here. We are right here behind you.
Was it Roxy?
What the fuck? I hate this place.
You begin to walk. They slowly follow behind you. Like a little too close, but yeah. Eventually, you guys go over to the memory ward, to the Sequoia of Remembrance. There is a few temples in this area. Two biggest ones are to the Moonweaver and to the Archheart, to Sehanine and Coralon. Each of the people you guys are looking for are going to be in each of these separately. Roxy, you head on over to the Temple of Coralon, while you yourself, Bryn, I believe, head on over to the Temple of Sehanine. Do any of you in particular wants to go first?
Roxy, go first.
Okay. Roxy, you make your way over to the Temple of Archheart. You see beautiful art, paintings, sculptures, all lining the path in this beautiful tall garden of flowers and vines. You see beautiful beasts of nature, swans and elks moving through the wilderness here. And it's like a gigantic sort of beautiful park. Eventually, you see a small chapel atop of a small hill where currently praying at the altar there is Althea. You see that she is performing a little sermon and then casting a little healing spell on what looks to be an injured, beautiful, sort of like a sparrow bird. She releases it and it sort of flies off. And then she sort of turns to look at you, says, my savior. Twice now. How can I help?
You know, I've been thinking a lot, why didn't you have any magic when we were like in that battle? Like, you slept. Shouldn't you have like magic?
We spoke just moments before that battle. I spent a lot of my magical learning on what happened to the other members, the other candidates. I thought I mentioned this before. I learned a little more what happened to the voice of memory and such. I don't know if you recall.
No, I don't.
She sort of looks around and says, I was left with only minor magical abilities. I've used what I could on the guards.
Why do you think they wanted that branch? Do you think you have any idea of why?
You see her sort of think on it. She looks back to the grand symbol of the Archheart above the sort of temple here. She looks at it and sort of says, the Sequoia is representative of everything that Elven culture is, but the individual leaves are without value. Infinitely valuable, I should say. Each of them represents a new life and opportunity and knowledge that person carries with them forever so. The
Yeah.
branch itself, I don't know what or whose leaves or lives are tied to it, but I do know that only once we have the voice of memory, a title given to either me or to Nuviel, then we will be able to look into those to learn perhaps why they were targeted.
So
By
look,
the way, symbol on the wall above is this. This is the symbol of the Archheart.
yeah, she was gonna mention that. I've seen that symbol when I was looking into what happened to Althea back in the day and during the calamity. Makes sense that you're part of the Coralon, enemy of Loth, family who destroyed most of the Vasilisa line.
She looks back. She says, most of my ancestors have lived difficult lives. I'm just hoping to keep the name of the family and its value alive through my actions.
Yeah, I know. Look, I need to know where he is.
She sort of gives you a concerned look and says, I wish to know that as well, but
And look, no more games. There's no one here. Why are you pretending to be somebody else?
she looks at you sort of again, kind of like last time you asked this question after the battle, I should say, or before the battle, I should say. She looks at you sort of at first a little surprised, but then sort of confused. Says, "You keep saying that, and I'm not sure what you mean."
See, let me tell you something about me. She's gonna pull her hood down.
Huh?
Do you see this red hair? I am fucking crazy. I sit and pace all night thinking of possibilities. Why would someone say someone like that? Why would someone do something like that? And it goes on and on and on. And I think about it all the time. I look at twinges in their eyes and their mouth when they speak, the things they say. I'm always watching. So, eventually, it's gonna slip. So, might as well just be honest with me. I am on your side here. I'm trying to find him too.
She sort of stares at you. Give me an insight roll. Because you were successful before, I'll give you advantage, and because you're fucking crazy. 20. Okay. She sort of stares at you for some time, and she says, "Listen, I don't know what Jonas means to you, but I know what he meant to this family. You and him are an entirely different story than what is going on here and now with the family line. I am under a lot of pressure. My training is not done, and I have a position of honor to ascend to if I am deemed worthy. I don't know what you think you know, but I assure you, I want nothing more than to find another member of my family now that I am left alone. I will earn that privilege if I'm deemed worthy or not. It matters not to me. I have no answers for you, and I'm starting to feel like your questions are of accusing nature."
Well, that's who I am. Sorry to be the bearer of the bad news. You know what he means to me? He means everything to me. I would kill thousands of people to save his life. That's how important he is to me. I would die myself to save his life. That's how important he means to me. And I will stare at everyone and anything to figure out where he is and how to get to him. And that's why I need to know. If you are searching for these people, how can you not find him?
Give me a persuasion roll. She looks at you, says, I've cast spells, I've tried magic that I didn't even know was within my reach. I tried everything I could, but I came up with nothing. I wish I had knowledge. I wish I had power. I wish I was as powerful as Tenuviel is. With a wave of her hand, I'm certain she could learn anything I wish to know. But both mine and her pride will not allow it. Mostly hers, honestly.
I understand, but I want
These
you to be the
people I
voice of
learned.
memory. I do, because I'm not gonna lie. You know, you being the voice of memory probably helped me find him faster. But it's not about that, right? It's about the best for Singon or whatever the fuck it is. And to be honest with you, Tanuviel seems kind of pompous and selfish, and I don't think she would be good for it. But then, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I've been hanging around Singon, and these people fucking suck here.
She looks at you a little sort of surprised and says, the people here are very used to, they're rooted in their ways, like an ancient oak. It will take too long for these roots to reach another source of kindness, another pond, another lake below. I'm sorry for your experiences, but this is simply the way it is here.
I'm gonna be honest, Jonas is not like any of these people here.
And you see her like shake her head, says, "No, I don't know. I don't believe he is, from what I've learned." I think Roxy, with that 20 insight, for a moment, you see the expression change of like, no, when she went like, no, not at all. I know what he's like, right? And then immediately switched to like, no, I believe I've heard he is not. As like doubtless in your mind, Roxy, she is posturing, right? She's presenting herself unlike she truly is. I must return to my meditation. I am very behind, and if I'm not studious and filled with effort, Tanuviel will inherit this title, as at this point might be even perhaps rightful.
Yeah, I'll leave you. Oh, another thing, because she's walking away. If you happen to remember or, you know, dig deep into old Althea's memories of the wonderful necklace that he gave her, that she gave him before they parted, it was his most dear, direst possession that he lost in the Underdark. And if you could possibly find another one or recreate it, not you, if you happen to dig deep into your memories and remember, I would like one for when I find him.
Make me a perception roll. And she says, yes, of course. I suppose I'll look into it. Perception. She turns her head towards the light of the Archhard temple there, and you see a single tear roll down the side of her face as she says, like, yes, of course. I will look into it. If I find something, you will be the first to know. You step on out.
Yeah.
There's a guard a foot from you. Am I escorting you back now?
No, we're waiting for my companion, and she's going to get really close to him. We're going to stand just like this until she gets there.
Of course, it is my duty to observe you.
She's going to get so close to him. Can you see me? Is this close enough?
He blushes a little bit. He tries to like lean his head slightly away. Says, "This is a, of course."
She's going to
Yeah.
say just like that until Bryn gets back.
When you come back, Bryn, you're gonna see them like Blair Witching into each other, like standing an inch away from each other, staring in each other's eyes. But not like there is no emotion or romantic attraction. It's just like this blank staring at each other.
I just imagine what is it? Not Morgan Freeman. It's Samuel L. Jackson, motherfucker stare.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Roxy.
They won again. Amazing. Bryn, you walk into the temple of Sechanin. You watch as this temple is without light. There is no light whatsoever in this place. As you enter, you see sort of exiting the pews nearby, sitting at some of these like long benches of stone, these elves that are finished their prayers and are leaving back into the city. And as you sort of almost bump into them in the darkness, actually you have dark vision, right?
I do have dark vision. Yeah.
Yeah, you see them sort of in the the dim light of this place, standing up and leaving as you sort of continue. Some of them look on over to you and look very hopeful. You know, another worshiper of the Moonweaver. Welcome to our temple. Some of them look kind of bashful and sort of unhappy. Like, what is this one doing here? They're not meant to be in the grace of our presence, and leave out of annoyance of your presence until finally you walk on up to the center there, where a massive stone carved and shaped into a beautiful sort of painted and magically enchanted crescent moon with a sort of like crescent moon facing upward, like the tips of it are both pointing upward, and in between the tips of the crescent moon there is a magical, almost mirror-like illusion of a night sky moving across. That sort of like aurora borealis kind of like lines light in the sky across like northern wastes. Appearance. Some statues nearby of a beautiful elven figure wielding a bow and arrows. Arrows, some of them almost depicted as if made of some sort of constellations or stars or such, which you haven't spent a lot of your time looking, or your life looking into this, but the moment you do, they not exactly your style, but they kind of remind you of your like archer form. As you approach, you will see some of the priestesses nearby begin to step away, and you hear some of them in hushed voices. You are very perceptive. You hear some of them in hushed voices speaking in Elven, right? You don't understand them, but you hear them mention Tenuviel when they see you and begin to step away. This is the symbol of the Moonweaver. This is what the symbol, the sort of the giant stone, the painted stone of moon. You see in front of it currently your mother, Tenuviel, stands. Her eyes glow with a deep sort of kind of violet and blue colors as she stares into this mirror for some time. And then she turns and looks to you in this darkness. I believed our business was concluded. Did I forget something?
I mean, the business between my party and you, maybe. Speaking on behalf of them when we were in public. But business between us is not really concluded yet.
He raised an eyebrow, looks around to the other priestesses, who immediately like, oh god, she's angry, and they all leave, right? It's just the two of you guys now in the temple. She looks back to you and says, daughter, I thought I was clear when I said that I will not speak on the topic of your father anymore.
Oh, you were pretty clear about it, but I could be pretty persuasive.
She just sort of blinks at you a few times, and then you see her sort of kind of exasperated, kind of sigh very briefly. She says, a lot has happened today. You have proven yourself a wise healer and a powerful magi. That alone is my compliment to you. I have no other things to reveal, great wisdom to share. I'm waiting on the word from the High Warden. So far, it seems that as you have counseled, we might be looking at a banishment for this vile human that came to our lands with his demonic seductress and brought forces of evil into the hope and heart of our lands. Your lands.
You keep saying that, but I've never been here. Never wanted to. And the people here, they look at me like I'm weird. I mean, I'm blue. I guess that's kind of why, but...
Do you blame me for that? You running away from your purpose and destiny?
I mean, you never supported me. And the things I wanted to do, you pushed me down a direction I didn't want to go. I wasn't any good at it. The things that I was good at, the things that even the other Ashari said I was good at, you told me not to do.
The Ashari were a stepping stone. We are elven people. The Ashari tend to the rifts of the elemental, the extraplanar. You were born there by happenstance.
You
were
keep
meant-
saying happenstance, but I'm Air Genasi. How is that happenstance? I mean, sure, if I live near the plane, but from what it sounds like, there's more about my father that you won't tell me.
She looks back to you, says, there is magic that can change one's appearance. You need not be like this.
Oh, myself? You're so ashamed of what I am that you'd have me change how I look. So I could fit whatever this elven daughter you've always wanted. What?
I am meant to be, as I soon will be, the voice of memory. It does not translate well if my only progeny is not of elven descent.
I mean, you probably should have thought about that before you got pregnant with me.
She snaps, sort of looks over back to you and says, that has little to do with you. That was a And she stops, right?
Oh, whoa. Mistake? You're going to say mistake. You don't make
No.
mistakes. My mother
I
doesn't make mistakes.
I do not make... You were... That is not what I intended to say. It was... a moment of... And you see her sort of think back and say... passion and perhaps weakness. That now costs you. You were meant to be a great priestess. Perhaps one day the voice of memory yourself. But you have instead chosen to look to this path of the Ashari. This wayward wind that carries you into ruins and dirt-filled dungeons that speak of the past, of people not our own. Civilizations whose passing is but a brief leaf dancing on the wind before it finally falls to the stream, disappearing forever on. Unlike our world. A timeless world.
See, and that's where you're mistaken. You live with the Ashari for so long, the Ashari specifically, and you even take their lessons to heart. You can't catch the wind. No matter how much you try to bottle it, you can't catch it. It's always meant to be free. And I think that's the problem you have with me. You tried to bottle me, but you can't.
You are still rebellious of mind. You choose to speak the words of great misunderstanding. You think that your position is hard simply because you've not seen your position in it yet. In the world, that is. In my world.
I see how they treat Roxy. Sure, I might be blue, and they don't really know what I am. But why would I want to be at a place that treats half of what your blood is the way that they're treated, the way that we're treated? You keep saying, "Oh, we could change your appearance." It doesn't change that I'm only half, and that can be your mistake. That could be something you're very sorry about. But I don't want to be in a place where I'm always going to be looked down on because of half of what I am not.
You see her sort of look back to this mirror, the moonlight sort of glowing from it. She says, this here is an artifact. The Eye of the Mistress Moon. A crystalline stone carved to see within her realm of twilight. It is said that behind it, hidden, are truths that only those of elven kin can see. Her own children. She looks to the mirror, looks to you, says, if you still wish to be so rebellious, since I find no other better word for it, do me this favor, daughter. Look within the mirror and tell me what reflection you see. Tell me if you see the wind, a gale blowing across what will one day be wastes, or do you see an elven priestess speaking the truth of her people?
Bryn's gonna walk up, and before she looks in the mirror, she's gonna be, elves aren't the only people who exist in this world. And then she'll look into the mirror.
You look into this mirror. As you do, there is a moment of as if a single drop of water falling into a vast pond, a ripple effect that sort of spreads on out. And at first, what you see is your reflection begins to kind of ripple and move. You watch. Tanuviel doesn't see any of this, right? She just sees you looking at those. She sees vast sort of like twilight and stars and darkness. You see within the mirror a beautiful full moon glowing with a starry sky around it. And silhouetting this light, silhouetting from behind, you see yourself. However, you see neither a elven priestess or a genasi druid. You see something. It is a moment of sort of you trying to like look to the details, half trying to sort of like do this to maybe like prove your mother wrong, half maybe curiosity that you always bear within you. There is someone else, a third person neither of you saw, someone else meant for something else entirely. You don't see an elf. You don't see a genasi in there. You see a whatever ideal or truly a person that Bryn is. You see someone standing over what looks to be a vast collection of valuable historical artifacts, things to tell the future for the ages to come. And yet, she stands there with poise and grace, with vast knowledge that would come with the position of some sort of an elven priest, perhaps. Something in between, but not entirely of either world. You blink a few times, and then just this sort of starry sky is left in that mirror. Tanuvia looks to you, says, so then, what did you see?
I don't think I saw what either of us wanted. Maybe a hybrid?
She doesn't furrow her brow. She has a perfect porcelain beautiful face. She doesn't do that. She doesn't furrow her brow, right? She just sort of tilts her head a little bit and kind of looks as, The mirror has only shown me truth. If this is something that Mother Moon has envisioned, then perhaps there is still hope for you, as I myself have hoped.
I mean, this is what she's envisioned for me, right? Does that mean herself?
The gods are all-powerful, but they are not infallible. Great prophecies have come true, yet some never made the light of day. Your future is not immutable.
Then there wasn't really a point of me looking in that mirror. Because I don't follow her. But I did it for you. Because that's what you wanted. And I am nothing but the daughter who always just wanted to give you what she wanted. Until I left.
She looks back to you. She says, is there anything else you wish to speak of?
Before I leave, and probably never come back because the banishment will probably affect me too. Just a name or a place. That's all I want.
Make me a persuasion roll versus your own mother.
Oh no.
Because you Because you jumped in to like help and
Oh,
protect
no.
and save elven people during that whole battle there, you can have advantage here. Not because she's your mom, but because you
so
helped protect
bad
some
at
elves.
charisma. I'm so bad.
I will allow guidance here, but 9 is still not that great,
Please
right?
use inspiration or take
I'll use
mine.
my
No, don't roll a 4.
Don't roll a
Somewhere-
4, you said?
Don't roll a 4.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god. You look to her and ask genuinely, at least, let us be done with this. Just tell me where to go. I will do everything else myself. She looks to you. She looks back and says, this path of yours, this wind that carries you, I regret to see for myself that you will not stop your following of it. This trail that leads to nowhere. I will grant you your request. But first, you will have to do something for me.
Alright.
I'm getting married next year. Remarried to the verdant lord Selendar, the highest ranking, most skilled warrior amongst all of the wardens of Singorn. I thought you should know that.
Congratulations.
She gives a sort of polite nod. She says, I wish for you to be present at the wedding. I do not care how much you care or not for me or my bond with Selendar.
Okay. Bryn just interrupts. Okay.
Yeah, she sort of looks surprised. Alright. One last thing.
It's the first time you've asked me earnestly for anything. You want me to be at a big event for your life? I'll be there.
One last part of that request.
Oh. Spoke too
Your
soon.
friends, your allies, are not to come.
Not even one. Like I can't take like a date.
Perhaps if they are elven.
Damn, I've only got one of those.
It's only me.
Fully elven.
Oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. Only Elven. I'll figure it out.
This is
It
not a
really limits the
quiz for
people I
you
know.
to outsmart me with. This is not a puzzle for you that a sphinx gives for you to trick or walk your way around. I don't want any surprises.
I said I was going to come. All right, I said I was going to go, so it's all right. I'm just saying I'm trying to have a friend there, and if they have to be Elven, I'll figure it out.
She sort of inspects you for some time, she's inside checking you, right? She's like looking at you for some time. She says, very well. Next year, on 18th of Undalar, during Deep Solace, that is when the ceremony will be held.
All
Reference,
right.
currently, it's 20th of Fesseran right now, which is basically like October-ish. We have 11 months in our world, which is sort of fucked up, but it is what it is. 11 months, Fesseran is sort of like the oh yeah, the calendar is named after like elven words. They're all elven words for months. We are close to we are past harvest close, which is sort of like Thanksgiving-ish. So yeah, currently it's basically in like, I don't know, like 6 months or something like that.
Oh, all right. 6 months. Bryn's like taking mental note. All right. Yeah, and it's here in Singorn, right? Or is it?
Yes, here.
All right. All right. Yeah. No, I'll be here. That's what you want. I'll be here.
Very well. Thank you, daughter.
You're welcome.
Then, that said, I have your word as your bond. Although, she decides not to make a comment, right? She goes to say something and decides not to. She says, if you wish to learn more about your father, travel back to the place where both you and him disappeared from my life.
So back to Zephyr.
She turns back to the mirror, says, "Unless we have any other official business to speak of, you will leave me to my meditation."
All right. Bye. Spring just leaves. There's
Remember,
no wishy-washy with her.
just bring an elf. That's all I'm asking. Someone of
There'll be
repute,
an elf.
perhaps.
Yeah, there'll be an elf. I promised. There'll be an elf.
She sort of does that, like, I don't like the sound of that, right? She sort of, like, rolls her shoulders a bit and looks at this mirror. You sort of walk on out, realize, like, all right, yeah, back to zero, right? Start researching that eventually when I get to it. You walk out, there's an elven guard standing 3 inches away from Roxy right now, as they are, like, deeply staring at each other. He looks like deeply uncomfortable. He's like leaning and he's trying to like tilt his head off to the side so he doesn't have to look directly at you. He's like a beautiful tree in this time of fall. Leaves so velvety and soft as they dance across the branches. Their life fading. So he's reciting poetry, right, to himself. He's not even saying it to Roxy. He's reciting it to himself so he doesn't have to like keep eye contact.
And she's like whispering at him like ASMR. She's like, you're gonna lose if you keep turning your face. You have to keep staring into my eyes.
As the winds come across the fields of Exandria,
That's my cue.
And he turns on like, oh thank God. As you walk on out, as soon as you step out, the other guy's like, I'm here to watch you, right? The other guy who's standing on the other side of this building.
Don't let me interrupt. It looked like you're having fun over here.
This is my new fiance, apparently, right?
The other elf looks at him and says, Belindor, what does this mean? He's like, I did not. We did not share a night under the the beautiful light of the moon. We did not make such an engagement. I have never sworn my love to this one. And they start like arguing. They go into a full blown out like conversation because apparently they were sort of romantically involved and now this other one's like getting upset. As the two of you can just walk off at this point. They won't even notice. Amazing. You guys walk off. You meet with Bella and Casimir. Bella and Casimir, was there anything you guys wanted to do while you were just sort of chilling?
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to the Fae place and see if I can see Aratusa, because I don't know if we're going to get kicked out of the city or not, so...
Yeah. It seems that it's a little more difficult this time. Her presence being here recently has expended some of her sort of like planar magic for the day, so she can't make an appearance here. But some of the sort of silvery laughter and the presence and some visage that you can see almost in the reflections in the water of her make you feel like she's present in spirit, but cannot be here in body.
I'll just kind of say, like, you know, what's going on, you know, that like we might get kicked out, so which sucks. So because I really want to stay because it's the only reliable place I can see her, or at least have access. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get a sense of sort of magical, kind of like, not sadness from your like tattoo, your magical mark on your hand, but more so a sense of like, oh, that's a shame. That's unlucky. That's unfortunate. But no worries. There'll be more chances.
yeah, we'll figure it out. So.
Excellent. Casimir, anything about yourself?
Yeah, as soon as they leave to go to talk to their mother and Althea, how much time has passed since the incident?
At this point, it's been a few hours. It's been like 3-4 hours.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, gotcha. You guys eventually all return to this tavern, to this inn, hotel, really. And a group of guards shows up that tells you another like hour passes or something, right? And a group of guards shows up and tells you the High Warden has passed judgment. we are here to take you to the final member of your troop, retrieve them from capture, and then inform you of this judgment. Please come along.
All right.
They lead you guys over to Barrel Keep. There you see a bunch of elves training. And this is some wild stuff. They are like wall running. They are doing some like infinite flips while they're fighting. It is just like so much extra movement that is all like elegant and fast. And a lot of it like doesn't seem necessary to you guys who are like martially trained fighters. But it makes it seem all of these like they're all like blade singing basically, right? They're doing like an incredible performance when they fight. As you are led over to Barrel Keep, you see the prison there, and dangling from a branch is a prison cell, 20 by 20 or so, that looks almost like a bird cage, and currently in it are two individuals. One is Sky, and another one is a passed out, sort of unconscious at the moment, Jorman. The guards walk up. They turn to one of these like druid guards, these wardens here. They cast a little spell. The whole cage gets pulled up, all the way up, until a little sort of branch extends itself, almost like a little gangplank to it, to the doors of it. They walk on over and open it. They look to you, Sky, and say, "Your time with the prisoner has come to an end. You yourself are free to leave."
What about him?
He is banished. He's never to return to the city, and if he does, it will be considered an act of aggression. He will be sent with an entourage of guards and skilled warriors of Singorns, our very own wardens, to be shipped off to Iman to reside in the Black Bastille prison. There, his fate will be decided by his own kind.
That's not how banishment works.
They sort of look to you and say, as he is no longer welcome in our city, it is not our place to decide the fate of others, of foreigners, of strangers. He will be judged by your own people. This one, we have learned, is wanted for multiple acts of dangerous terrorism throughout Tal'Dorei, if not beyond. The Council of Tal'Dorei, the state, the Republic of Tal'Dorei, will decide what befits a judgment. What kind of judgment befits him?
He's not from here. Want his people to judge him, you send him back to Marquette.
That is not for us to decide. That is for the council members of the Republic of Tal'Dorei to decide. You very much, Sky, get a sense of like, we're gonna drop them to you guys, and you guys decide what to do with them, right? They just want to like shake it, right? They want to like get rid of them, and then others who are of his people can decide that.
Then I'm taking him with me.
Sort of look back to you and say,
It's not negotiable. Don't even open your fucking mouth. He's my brother, and I am taking him with me. And if you're worried about somebody else on the outside passing judgment on him, then I, as a bounty hunter, will take him in to prison myself.
He looks to you as if sort of like, I don't think you understand how this works. You can give me a persuasion roll. This is going to be a very hard persuasion roll as you sort of show up as like, I'm a bounty hunter, actually, I'll take him in, right? Giving an alternative here. They are very much so like, no, that's not going to work, but that could be convenient, right? I'm going to need you to give me a DC 25 persuasion roll for this to fly.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. They have their ways, they're set, there's plenty of the guards here, they say no, right?
I'll use my inspiration.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, go inspiration.
Oh!
You see this guard says, no, that is not how the law of the... And then you see he spins around, and a soldier steps out. All of them look to him and immediately take a knee and bow. You see a plate, but a wooden armor, elven plate looking armor wearing elven man with long sort of silvery green hair. He's got eyebrows that sort of go past the edges of his face. You see long elven ears. He looks mature for an elf even, right? He doesn't look old or anything, but he looks like a hardened warrior. You see some scars on the sides of his face and such. As he looks back, he wields at his side a beautiful, most powerful magical aura emanating from it, like a long sword on his side and a shield on his back. He has a 3 rows of badges and commendations of honor on him. On his the shoulder pads he wears, the mantle around, the long a red cloak. He speaks out as the rest of them look back and take a knee. He says, "This opportunity is a valid one. He has been banished. We no longer need to fret about his actions. As our sages here," he gestures to the druid who did this whole bridge of wood stuff, says, "have determined his magic is unavailable to him. This bounty hunter seems personally involved. This is an acceptable manner of resolution." He looks to you, Sky, and says, "By the powers vested in me, I allow such actions. The prisoner is yours to command, yours to take. He is to be taken to the Black Bastille prison. However, if something unpredictable or something out of the control of the people of Singorn is to happen to him, people of Singorn will bear no responsibility for such outcomes."
Good. Now where's our stuff?
He looks back to the guards. They sort of nod and run on over, bring your stuff back.
I will disregard pretty much everything that they got, and I'll get the eyes first. I'll take those over to Jorman. Be like, "This is gonna fucking hurt. I wish I could say I'm sorry, but I really ain't." And she's gonna take both those eyes and plop them in.
It's usually not meant to be a very painful, injection here, but still some of that red-hot emotion running through. You push him a little too hard into the sockets, right? As he kind of grunts in discomfort.
Yeah, she definitely seats them securely.
They're solid in there. Yeah, you make sure. You push for an extra second a little too hard, right? So, making sure. As he kind of grunts in pain. And you see he closes his eyes and then slowly opens, and they begin to move, these magical eyes that Casimir has provided. He stands up and looks around. He looks at you, and you see him just sort of crestfallen, saddened. He looks down. He can't look you in the face. As this is happening, this super decorated warrior that just showed up to pass this judgment, he turns around and says, "Very well. Concerning the rest of you here, all of you, you are not banished. Your actions were valiant, and you acted to save the peoples of Singorn. For that, we thank you. As long as you need aid of Singorn, you can call upon my favor. I, as a protector and guardian of the people here, owe you a life debt. Your actions have saved many, and that cannot be forgotten. That will not be forgotten."
And we didn't catch your name, sir. Who do we owe the pleasure?
He looks back. He says, "I am the protector and the head of the Verdant Guard. My name is Cylindar."
Right, it's your stepdad.
He looks to the guard, says, "Escort him to the edges of the Verdant Expanse. They are to return If you wish, we can provide instead a teleportation circle to the Sapphire Pyramid within Iman. Unfortunately, that is the only place we can send you.
That would be helpful.
Very well.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
Well, I am in agreement with that, but I want to make sure we can meet up with the people with the art and tell them to go back. I'm not giving them their fucking art. They want their fucking art. They can fucking pay us for it.
Yeah, I can send a little message. That's fine. Totally fine. Yeah, absolutely. As the Verdant Lord Selendar turns around to the guards here and says, escort him to safety. He looks to you all, bows his head, and you don't, like, this is the first time you see an elf, like, deeply respectfully bow to you all and says, thank you. Thank you all. He turns around, jumps, and you see his feet just slide through the air as he glides off some 70 feet before touching the water below, and then jumps again some 80 feet and just sort of flies over a building, right? Goes towards, like, the high castle in the distance.
Bryn's gonna turn to Roxy and just be like, I like him more than my mom.
No, I agree. Maybe she's marrying up, really.
He seems pretty cool.
Kind of feel bad for him, actually.
Cool stepdad. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
The rest of
I'm
the
very-
guards sort of look at you all, give you your equipment back, and say, please, follow us this way. And they look a little taken aback of like, whoa, the High General just showed you guys like a lot of respect here. So they immediately change their tune of like, please come with us this way. Yeah? They are hands with their weapons, looking at Jorman, just, waiting for him to do some crazy villainous thing that villains do.
I will.
He sort
In
of stumbles
my
out
gear,
slowly. Uh-huh.
I will pull out the manacles that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your wrists.
He presents his hands.
Clap
Yep.
them on there.
Click.
And tie them up.
Time up. You all are escorted back to the Emerald. Well, you haven't been here. The Emerald Citadel, the tall spires of the beautiful elven castle where moonlight glows from these torch sconces. A truly beautiful, stunning place as you see elven magi sort of flying through the courtyard. You see tall trees enchanted to grow beyond normal limits and levels. You see a set of elven youths sort of dancing and playing around. As they sort of stop and gesture to you, you see one of them wears a little crown. A very young sort of elven girl, as her and her friends sort of run on off here. They sort of look to you all in amazement. You guys are led to a little chamber in a side building in the courtyard there. There's a set of sort of beautifully made, immaculate elven teleportation circles as they sort of approach. Casimir, you as a mage, look these over. Are you trying to maybe memorize these for the future? So
Heck
you
yeah.
can add them to your own. All right. Give me you speak Elven, right? You said?
I do not, but I can.
You do
I
not,
do have
right.
comprehend languages. I can cast if I have time.
You can do comprehend languages, no problem. However, comprehend languages requires you to like touch the surface of like the text to be able to understand it. You can either give me an Arcana roll with disadvantage to memorize this, or you can give me a sleight of hand roll or a stealth roll to cast the spell, touch the rune, and memorize it while no one's looking. Because they're not gonna just let you like start messing with their teleportation circle, aka touching it.
Casimir's not that ballsy. He'll just do the Arcana disadvantage.
All right. Give me Arcana with disadvantage, sir.
17.
17 is not bad enough. You learn the basis of the anchor rune that is written within it. The elven magic is strong here. You realize, like, okay, I mostly got it figured out. There's this one last part that is basically like, we might show up here or any other teleportation circle within Singorn, right? You got the area code, but you don't have the exact address, right?
Cool.
All right. As you all step up onto this teleportation circle, 4 elven mages appear. and begin to cast a spell. You are all shunted through space and time until you instantly reappear within the City of Fellowship. You exit from there. You are currently at the Traverse Junction as you exit the giant sapphire pyramid and begin to make your way through the city. As you all begin to walk on through here, you see the beauty of this place. Everything happened pretty fast lately, yeah. But now that you're back here, you see the vast city, the sky ships floating above the tall, beautiful white walls, the people moving, and not a single person giving you a dirty look for just the kind of a person you are, right? In fact, some people even look over and sort of like recognize you guys and point like, the great heroes I've heard about. These are the fellows from Western. I think this is the something guard, the something dawn. I don't remember exactly. As they sort of like move on by, right? As you guys are sort of walking, you see Jorman in manacles kind of look to you here, Sky, and says, so, what now?
Just gonna take the key out and unlock the cuffs.
He looks stunned. Kind of looks around. He does that obligatory, like, rubbing his wrists thing, right, from having manacles, even though they were on for, like, 30 minutes or something. He, looks to the rest of your friends here, and looks to Sky, and says, I think he kind of says first to the party. He says, it has been revealed to me that I was your enemy for an entirely misguided reason. Kind of looks over to Bryn, says, the spell that you cast, the spell that killed me, that activated whatever consequence was left in my mind. Thank you.
Figured it was worth a shot. If Sky's hunch was right, then it'd work. If not, then we'd kill you. But kinda didn't work out well. In the end.
He looks over to Sky, a little kind of surprised with his new sort of eyes here, and says, you chose to try to save me rather than after what did we... I don't know what to say.
Thank you.
There was
But
a long
thank you.
time. A long time where all I ever dreamed about was killing each and every one of you. Putting you in the ground where I thought you belonged, but I had a moment, and probably for your good fortune, he handed me over to that vampire. Made me think that maybe, just maybe, not everything was as I thought it was. And fortunately for you, Ash is a little bit too full of herself. And when I used that Sending Stone, I got the glimpse I needed. And I resolved then to not put my family in the ground.
He looks back to everyone and says, me and my siblings, me and Sky and the rest of us, we were meant for something I'm now realizing might have been beyond our reach to start with. Our patron, the person who showed us everything, our magic, the one we call Red Prince. Ash's an agent of his. We thought that she was Sky Ascended. She's meant to represent whoever the Red Prince is. And Red Prince, the one that gave us a chance, better lives. And they saw fit to sacrifice Sky first, then Sorik, and now me. The rest of my family is in danger, and I will do anything I can to show them what you all have shown me. The truth.
I don't think you can be much use in that regard.
He looks at his hands, sort of powerless.
There is a gap that will take you a while to fill, but it's more in the fact that you should have died. She took your power from you, and Bryn snatched your life back. There will be a target on you that
I hope they...
you can avoid.
I sincerely hope they think of me as dead. That's at least, I think, the information they left with. But I don't
So-
know.
I mean, I did kind of say some weird things when I was reaching around in there. I
It
think
looks-
your magic is still there. I don't know how to grab it. I think I saw an echo of Sky there. I saw Sork. I saw you. I could only pull you back because it's within a certain time frame.
Maybe it went to the same place where Sky's magic went.
No, I'm saying I saw their souls, but I didn't see his magic. I'm just saying I saw Sky, an echo of Sky.
He sort of looks a little confused, kind of thinking some stuff over, and kind of looks to Sky, looks back to you all, says, Sky is here, and I am here, yet you saw her soul. It must be a part of us that the Red Prince took. For what purpose, it was never made fully clear to us. Our mission was always to retrieve artifacts, gather important pieces of some greater puzzle. I can't help you with the powers I had before, but I can tell you what happens next.
That would be an immense help.
The rest of us, the Red Path, we were to gather pages of unfathomable power. And two particular individuals of great prophetic power. The elven voice of memory was supposed to learn some information for us from the pages. And a great seer, some sort of a prodigy that we never fully learned about. A person who was trained by another a mage that was researching artifacts and magical items. We were supposed to find both of them. However, with now the voice of memory behind the walls of Singorn, or at least we thought, believed fully was the voice of memory, that elven woman, we were trying to find this prophet, this prodigy. Apparently, he sort of looks on around. He says, apparently the person has such unrivaled sight only kind of sight clear enough to find the true power and purpose behind those pages. We couldn't find them. However, we started looking for the next best thing. His teacher, mentor, whatever kind of that relationship was. We never fully found them, but have narrowed the search to the surroundings of, well, Craghammer, mountain range up there, the Cliffkeep Mountains. Only thing we learned was that this person sought some unfathomable artifact that is meant to be given to Ash. The only location I heard about. This was mostly Derival's project. But I heard mentions of pools of Widabok. You guys can give me a history roll. Bryn, as an archaeologist, you don't need to. You just know exactly what this place is.
History, you
Isn't
said?
that where that's where
History.
the city sank, isn't it? I think you told us about it already.
Yeah, you can give me some history rolls to know here. But yes, you guys have definitely heard this name and mentioned before. Bella, with your 7, the word Widabok sounds faintly, and Roxy, both of you think the word sounds faintly gnomish, in the how it's pronounced, but that's about all you know. Casimir, you yourself, have heard and maybe even done some research. Sky, you've definitely heard of this place as well here, and Bryn, you know of this place. It's one of the biggest historic tragedies of our continent. About 400, maybe 500 years ago, a little place called Widabok existed up here in the Cliffkeep Mountains, a gnomish city that thrived underneath the ground. They made technology and tinkering devices so incredibly advanced, they were nearly rivaling the height of intellect of the Age of Arcanum, the times where cities flew and mages decided who's a god and who's not. These gnomes were really close to cracking it, to figuring it out. And then a disaster struck. A bunch of hill giants moved into the area unknowing that these gnomes are underneath them. They weren't malicious giants or anything like that. They just didn't know there was a city underneath them. They made a whole settlement above them, and by the sheer weight of a village of giants and a hollowed out ground where the city was, the ground crumbled and the city collapsed down onto itself, drowning, crushing, and killing 99% of its population. The gnomes that survived fled and removed themselves from here, went to Craghammer or further beyond. There's some families of these gnomes from Widabok that still live there. As you're sort of thinking on this is with the 15 that Sky sort of knows here. With the 25, Casimir, you have read in one of your master's tomes that there was a sort of a conspiracy or an idea or speculation, really, that the reason these gnomes of Widabok were so incredibly advanced, they weren't rich or anything. They didn't really trade with other people. So how did they have all these materials to build and these magic items to invent and such? That was never clear. There was a speculation of your masters that they found something before the city was even founded. They found some sort of a ancient, all-powerful magic artifact that allowed them to uplift themselves, both intellectually and as a society, and he believed, at least, they found some sort of an artifact from the Age of Arcanum that was even then considered to be one of the sort of like most powerful artifacts that existed. But of course, this never went anywhere in the eyes of your previous mentor, your teacher, your guardian of sorts, because it was 600 feet under the ground. The whole place collapsed. Everything was filled with poisonous gas. There was hill giants that now live atop of this in a settlement called Gundergrunch. So, never nothing like who's gonna go into a grave, a mass grave underneath a giant city that's filled with poison and death. That was just like, it's gone. Nothing you can do about it. But it was always sort of like a little side project of his, side interest. And now you begin to learn, like, okay, whatever that was, Sky, after what Sky sort of found out here, Ash, as set her sights on perhaps both your master, or it seems like they might have come into contact, and now he's looking for this artifact more severely. That said, Casimir, an immediate thought and a speculation of your own, a doubt you had in your mind for the longest time, after what Jorman says here, the confirmation that he is alive.
Shit.
Jorman looks to you all and kind of nods, says, my task, mine, and he sort of swallows kind of hard and says, Zorik's was to bring the Elven Oracle. Once we have both of them, only then will the pages make sense. These pages were written by a being much more powerful than any of us. Much more secretive. Only by the combined wisdom and sight of these two people did the Red Prince say that the book will be unveiled, its secrets unfolded, its knowledge ours to use.
Can they be destroyed?
She sort of thinks on it, but says, it was never a question that I needed to ask. Never a spell I needed to cast to learn. That was not our objective. He sort of looks around to all of you, says, I'm really sorry. To Sky first, and then the rest of you. We, not a moment of me being with my siblings and the Red Prince, did we think that we thought we were doing what we were meant for. What we were trained and born for. But your spell, Ganolxa Prince, has shown me how much my mind has been modified and changed to fit better the vision that Ash sees for us. If she has taken my power, she has undoubtedly learned whatever melee magic and combat casting that I focused myself. Sky was our Firebird. She was our flame in the sky, our watchful phoenix. And Thorik, he was a summoner, a conjurer, creator of summoned things, and brought forth minions. He's maybe already one of the most formidable things that Tal'Dorei might ever see. If she learns the powers of telemancy from Derival and Arenia's ice magic. She learns Kai's abilities of protection and indestructibility. And you see this like idea cross his mind of like, we were like a collection, all trained for a purpose. And he just has this like 1,000-yard stare of like, my life was a lie, right? You see, he's going through it.
You
We
didn't
were
know.
never more than tools for them in the end.
I am not deserving of your time. I am not to be trusted as you shouldn't after everything that has happened. I still am wrestling with the idea of who I'm even supposed to be, if I'm even supposed to be here still.
Can you tell us more about Ash? Is there... Because what you say is very concerning, of course. Maybe there's a way to kill her before that happens.
She and Kai were close. Sort of looks to Sky kind of apologetically and says, "We thought she was you." Kai did as well.
Yeah,
They were.
that idea.
Yeah, he sort of looks to you with the idea of like they're close, as the two of you were, or maybe he sort of swallows cards hard and says, maybe you two hoping to be. Yeah. The idea immediately makes you like sick to your stomach, Sky. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you just see her kind of like do that like slight hunch over, like she wants to vomit,
Yeah.
sort of a thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
She came to us one night, the night when we all believed Sky ascended. My mind was changed, and I now know that we sacrificed our sister to bring forth an aspect, a avatar of the Red Prince, the being that has taught us everything, yet we never knew everything about. She has led us last few years from place to place. We've traveled across the world gathering artifacts from Uncorel, now here. Her latest journey was solitary to the Nine Hells. Oh, gods. To Avernus, the first layer of hell. She went there to take something, her and Derival.
I wonder what that was. Couldn't have anything to do with Tiamat, right?
He sort of looks back, says, I wasn't told. Me and Sarek were on our own mission, but somehow that Dragonborn, he ended up finding us. How did he find us instead? We weren't in Avernus at any point in hell.
The portals.
Portals.
Derival.
He sort of looks at you and says, am I understanding you? Are you saying that he betrayed us? That he sent to
No,
them?
no, I'm saying that it's like a signature. If he went to the hills and he's the one who teleports you around, that's probably how Tiamat Archon tracked you. Didn't matter if Derival was coming out of the portal or not. Still his portal.
I see. I suppose this could be possible. I don't know.
well, point is, he did it anyways, and our brother's dead because of it. Because of what Ash did.
He sort of looks to you all and says, I will do anything. I don't know the rest of you. But Sky, I will do anything to save them. anything to fix this mistake.
Do you know how soon Ash and the Hermit are going to go for the object in the... what's it called?
Widebach. I'll type that
Widebach.
out. He looks back, says this was a long-term project. It, from what I understood, whatever it is that she wanted from this sage was the last thing she needs. She said that the place is impenetrable. The giants are too dangerous, even for someone like herself. That's why she made contact with this sage, who apparently knows a lot about it. There was one thing that she revealed to us before that's supposed to happen sometime soon. She knew the date exactly as well. In about maybe a month from now, she said that one of the pages that will be useful to us, much more than any other, will arrive. The way she spoke of it, she made it sound like it was destroyed before. However, she said that these things, they reconstitute. They cannot be just destroyed. They can remake themselves.
Guess I answered
This-
that question.
This page, it is supposed to fall from the heavens in a roaring ball of fire. And he looks to you all, says, "Do any of you have a map?"
I'm
Yeah.
gonna pull out my map of.
Yeah, you pull
Tal'Dorei.
out the map. He points on the map. Instantly, Bella, you're like, "Ah, fuck." He points right over here. He points to a destroyed tower of a mad mage who lost his mind ages and ages ago, where some ley lines are currently going to be crossing in the close future.
What I say?
A meteor of some sort is supposed to bring one of these pages back. How she knows that, or how that is possible, or if this is just the way these things come back to our world, I don't know. But I know that exactly within a month, this page will return, and she hopes to be there to grab it. Or at least one of the path will be there. Until then, I don't believe there's any plans to move anywhere. They still have the rod, the golden measurement we took from Unkarel. That is the only artifact I'm aware of.
What's the rod?
It is supposed to be some sort of part of a greater design. Middle section, a pillar of what is supposed to be made into some sort of scales, like measuring scales. It has it is imbued with great draconic powers and such. After we gathered it, we never needed to look into it further. It was meant for us to gather, so we did, and it was with Ash and the Red Prince ever after. You guys immediately connect the dots, realizing like that's what Samira was chasing
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
In all the people you
He
killed
looks
and-
to you, and you see him. There's a moment where you sort of realize who he's looking at, and realize you like the person who shot during that fight, right? He realizes you're the person who shot Sorik.
Yeah.
You see him sort of like his eyes widen momentarily, and then he sort of resigns, powerless, right, to say or do anything here, and says, "Yes."
in all the cities that you destroyed and all the people you killed, you didn't think that it was probably wrong to bring this Red Prince back, like all these innocent people dying for it?
He sort of blinks a few times and says, "We were taught our whole life, from the moment we were brought together, that our lives are meant to serve a great purpose, for great good, for serenity and greatness of all, to bring a better life. And we were also taught, there was a member of, the older member of the Red Path, his name was Armand, he was our keeper of sorts, that in order to bring peace, there must first be pain. Not something I enjoyed doing, if that's what you're asking. But I believe my whole life it was meant to be done. It needed to be done.
Yeah, it's funny how when you have absolutely nothing, given everything with a promise, how fucking tempting it is to help the ones that give it to you.
We were a family, something we didn't have. I can't even begin to unpack everything that has happened through my life. I am starting to realize that I've lived a lie, and I don't know how to deal with that. I think it'll take me some time before I can properly answer all of your questions without looking back at myself as a
Monster.
yeah, a monster.
Doesn't get any easier. No matter how many years pass by, it stays.
He sort of gives you a look, nods, and says, "Should I report myself to this Black Bastille? Should I leave you to your business and never return? What do you wish of me? You gave me life. Might as well be yours to command."
She's gonna reach behind her and she's gonna pull out a small coin bag and hand it to him. There is 40 gold in here. I want you to get a ticket. I want you to go home.
Home? The others are still here. I can't leave.
You're gonna go home. And I'm gonna go get the others.
Give me a persuasion roll one more time. You're gonna with advantage this time around, of course.
I'm very
Yeah, damn. God damn. 26. He looks at you, holding this coin. You see his fist sort of wraps around it. He doesn't like tear up or anything. He's like the like tough, silent type, but kind of looks up and says, "All right. You've always known better. I'll trust you this time as well."
Oh, fuck yeah, you will. I'm your older sister, you motherfucker. And she just kind of like reaches up and hugs him.
He takes a moment. He's sort of stunned that you even hug him, and then he sort of wraps his arms around you. He squeezes. You feel just he is going through what you went through, but he has you right to go through it. When you woke up the first time without your powers, without anything, and realizing how fucking brutal, how unfair and unforgiving all of that was, right? And now at least he has you here. He sort of looks back to everyone, and says, "Thank you all for killing me and giving me another chance."
You'll
You're
find your
welcome.
strength again. Just give it time. It will be different than the strength you've known. But look at Sky. She's found a new strength.
She really has, I suppose.
Yeah, I
Not
think
'cause I
Roxanne.
wanted to.
I think Roxanne's gonna take her bag and walk away. She doesn't give a fuck about this. She's annoyed.
He looks back as he's about to leave. He turns and looks over to Sky and says, I never went there on foot. We were always teleported there, but there's a hideout somewhere here in Tal'Dorei. I never went outside to see where we were, never needed to. It was shown to us by that vampire. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah.
The place somewhere high up. It had a symbol on the entrance, on the walls. Symbol of a minotaur, a bull man, a lich of some sort. It was some sort of a lair that belonged to some powerful spellcaster. This minotaur man. He was gone. He's gone. Who knows how long? But the place had magical machinery and access, so we took it for ourselves.
Does it sound like the symbol? Does it sound like the one
You
that I
definitely,
saw?
yeah. You saw a symbol of like a horned person with a symbol in the center of its like forehead, like a triangle symbol in its forehead. You saw it like through the portals when they were like teleporting in and out, type of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think we can figure out where it is.
He nods. He gives a look to everyone, looks over to Sky, and heads up and over to the skyport to leave the city. You all stand there, middle of the city. What do you do?
Oh, I need a drink.
I need a drink.
I mean, I'll go for moral support. Don't really drink.
Yeah, moral support and a drink. She just kind of
Right.
turns and very stiffly like walks away. It's like,
Well, what's Roxy doing?
Oh, I left. I wasn't staying there. Once you
Mhm.
gave him the money and told him to fuck off, I left. I'm not staying.
Mm-hmm. You heading anywhere in particular, or?
Yeah, the bad parts of Iman, like the slums.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You head on over to the lower city as the rest of the party starts heading over to get like a drink or something to sit down for a while. You all sit. You have a few hours to sort of just kind of think back on everything that happened. Finally, to relax as you realize, like, all right, we're not on a timer anymore. We know something happens in a month. We got plenty of time until then. Before that, you have some like theories and ideas what's happening, but you're mostly sort of free now. You have some places you can visit again, sort of preemptively acting before your enemies could move if you wish. But once again, you are free to rest. Meanwhile, Roxy, you make your way over to the lower city. You see all kinds of dangerous types around here, the dangerous types that do recognize you from your recent actions. Are you looking to interact with them, or are you just looking for a place to be just sort of like silent and, enjoy some peace?
She's gonna be like on the rooftop. She is looking for like any like bad people to like fucking kill. She is pissed. She just wants to kill someone, but she wants to wait to see if there's someone like trying to harm any people in the street there.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna just
absolutely.
sit.
You definitely spot what looks to be these like racketeers going from like shop to shop, extorting people, basically like grabbing money from their registers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Well, she's gonna wait for them to come out of the building and she's gonna shoot them.
Just in the middle of the street, or do you wait for them
Yeah,
to like
just-
go into an alleyway? Or something?
wait until go into alley, and then she'll
Okay,
shoot them.
it's just in the middle of the open. Okay, fair enough. You give me a stealth roll as one of your arrows pierces the side of the neck of this, like, like I don't know, like 19-year-old, like half-elven girl who's, got a big old knife and has been threatening people around. Another one is like an older, like 30-plus years old in comparison to humans, I guess, like a dwarven man. Who's been going around with a bat, just sort of like hitting people with it. The arrow hits the girl in the side of the neck. She drops instantly. The dwarf spins around before he realizes what happens. An arrow goes straight through his forehead. The third one of them, this sort of like human guy, balding, sort of older dude, turns around, goes to run to yell for help. You disappear like a shadow, appear right in front of him, and just drive your blade into the side of his neck. Three of them are just dead instantly. You feel still sort of angry, right? But that moment of death that you sort of dispense onto these guys, you hear some like murmuring and movement. A bunch of guards turn the corner, and you are gone already. You're already on the roof. By the time they look up, you are elsewhere. You are gone.
Yeah, she's gonna go back to those places, and she's gonna give the people back their money.
Excellent. Do you keep any for yourself?
No,
Because
she
there's
doesn't
like a
want any
good,
of it.
like, I don't know, 400 or 500 gold they grabbed.
No, she's gonna give them all back to the people that got extorted. Every single dollar, every single coin.
Okay. Yeah. Do you like? They look at you very much so like Robin Hood-esque. Like, who are you? How do we ever thank you? Huh?
I'm nobody. Just try to keep your shop a little bit more secure, right?
They sort of look a little kind of saddened and devastated, and sort of like we didn't have any coin for bodyguards or any protection here, but I think, and they sort of look at this sort of older couple and say, I think it's time to invest into that before anything else. And they sort of nod, realizing kind of what just happened. These guys, they're just sort of thugs. They are not like clasp or anything. They're just like thugs, right?
Yeah, well, maybe them dying, maybe other people will hear it, and then they won't rob these poor people anymore.
Yeah. Idea occurs to you. I mean, I don't know if you would even sort of entertain it, but Roxy, you're like, I'm sort of in with the clasp. I could just tell them, like, hey, put some goons outside of these shops and make sure no one hassles them. Huh?
No, she doesn't want the class involved. She already knows how bad they are. She doesn't want to get these nice people involved.
Okay, excellent. You continue your way through the city here. You encounter sort of like, this kind of happens down here in the slums. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares about this part of the city. Everything's sort of falling apart, and people are trying to hold on to what they have with everything they have. Even then, sometimes it's just not enough, right? You coming over and sort of like murking some of these people, right, begins to spread a bit of a rumor, right? Watch yourself, watch over your shoulder, or you'll end up like, Brilwin the dwarf and Khazar the human and whatever this half-elf lady was as well, right? As there's someone out there doing some vigilante shit, right?
Yeah.
All right. How about you give me... I think this will be a intimidation roll using your dexterity or charisma, your choice here, to see how much of a wave you make, right? If this will actually make a difference, or is the city so rotten here that a few murders don't really matter? Oh
Damn.
my god! Yes!
Now claim.
Holy shit. Well, you don't bring law instantly to this place, right? However, in the following days, the rumors will begin to spread about a shadow, a demon in the night, that will pierce your throat, cut your neck, and leave you face down and worthless if you attempt to harm the innocent. To steal from the poor, to bully the powerless. You start. There is a rumors of like a shadow, a shadowy demon moving in the night that appears and leaves without a trace. Only thing left in its path are bodies of those who thought they can use their force, their way and force to make their way in the world. Darkwing Duck, you are now Batman. Congratulations.
Yeah, she'll feel better knowing that she helped those people, and then she'll go back to the inn. She just, she needed to blow steam off, and she feels better.
Yeah. With the stealth roll you roll, I don't think you have any blood on you. Usually you're caked in blood after your battles, and that's not like a big issue for you. But at this time around, unless you put some like war paint style blood on you, I don't think you're bloody at all.
Okay, yeah, she wouldn't.
Okay. You make your way back. You find a party, we'll say at the Laughing Lamia Inn, that like adventure tavern that you guys figured out, like, ooh, fancy place with a lot of like famous people that come here and adventure. You all walk on in, you see adventurers moving around. There's a dragonborn warrior that walks them by, a Goliath barbarian that follows along, a gnome mage lady that sort of walks in after them. Another table, there's two halflings and an orc sitting and talking. Another table, there's a group of these sort of tall-looking, like hobgoblin-looking dudes that are just sort of talking amongst themselves as, tales of adventure are spread through this place. This is a all pleasures included kind of a tavern. They have a, like a bar, an inn, a restaurant type of stuff. They have a spa. They even have a brothel downstairs as well. They have everything you might want. You guys step on in, look around. One of the sort of barmaids approaches you guys, tells you what's like today on the menu, offers you some drinks and such. As one of the people nearby kind of recognizes you, this barmaid looks back to the lady that sort of works behind the counter, this like tall elven woman, and the tall elven woman nods, and this barmaid, this human woman, says, actually, the proprietress of this locale has just informed me that your heroics have been reported. Your food, drink, and lodging in the Laughing Lamia are free. And they, if you ask for it, bring you any kind of food or drink you guys want. Apparently, being a hero pays, at least in this tavern.
I will go for the top shelf bottle.
Absolutely, they bring you a cask of it, right? A whole ass barrel they bring you.
Is that the strongest just guy?
Yeah, I mean, strong's subjective. This is the better taste and stuff.
Casimir holds out a cup.
All right. There is anything of your choice of like delicious vines wine.
Wines.
That's me
You
being
doing
European.
okay there, buddy?
That's me being a European. I apologize. Delicious wines and strong alcohols. There is some very powerful liquors and spirits, different kinds of ales and meads, just about any kind of drink you can get.
Casimir is holding out his cup. It's shaking. He looks a little pale. He looks very nervous.
I'm gonna like hand on his wrist. I'm gonna put the cup down on the table. Not like take it away from him, but like just like get his hand down. You alright?
No, Sky. I'm not alright. He lives.
Is that the thing we were talking about before?
Yes. That sage Ash is dealing with, I'm pretty sure that is my master.
You never said that you saw him die, you just said the library came down on him, right?
That is true. That's why I've never spoken his name.
Well, how about, at least for one night, we not worry about all the other bullshit? She'll pop the cask, she'll pour your cup. Now, careful. You ain't never drank it before. Probably might knock you on your ass.
Casimir, as sturdily as he can, downs it.
Yeah.
Probably coughs up a little bit.
It's potent. It's very potent. You immediately begin to sort of kind of cough up. You feel your throat and sort of the sides of your mouth begin to burn immediately. You feel your eyes water for a second, and your nostrils feel hot right away. It's some strong stuff.
Pour my glass and just kind of like raise it to him, down it. That'll make you forget everything that you're worried about.
Hasn't yet. Hands out his cup for another.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 of them, you'll start to understand it, and she'll pour him another.
So Casimir's gonna get drunk tonight.
Absolutely. Casimir, you continue drink after drink, and it's a strange sensation. Usually, due to your sort of divination abilities, your magic needs you to be like focused and stay in control of your senses. However, as you imbibe of the few drinks here, you begin to sort of have trouble any sort of doing any sort of predictions or magical divinations and such, as you realize it's a little more difficult. However, in that sense of like not having any minor visions or predictions and such, there is a sense of letting go, relaxation in a way. There is this sort of weight that is lifted from your shoulders when that gift of divination is lifted. As you are able to just sort of kind of relax and let go. At one point, as you're sort of tipsy, as you look on down, you swear it almost seems in the reflection of the alcohol in your cup that your left eye looks kind of like fucked up. Kind of like almost greenish. You blink it away and there's nothing.
Oh no, Casimir's gonna throw up his cup, because he remembers what happened last time. He's gonna throw up his cup, throw it away, scatter back, hold his eye, and go, what the fuck?
What the British just drinking tea
You
like
alright?
My eyes! Is it
Goliath Barbarian stands up on another table, goes, "We have us a fight!" And the rest of them start standing up and throwing chairs across this as a tavern brawl begins. You guys excuse yourself, go to like a secluded area. As you see, Casimir's a little... They immediately interpret it as like, oh shit, we're starting it, right? But you guys like, no, something's wrong with our friend, hold on. As you guys gather around him to give him a moment there.
What's wrong?
My eye. Is it
What about it?
is it jacked up? Is it
Let me take a look. I'll take a look.
Normal. His eye looks normal.
I mean, it looks the same. It looks a little bit better than it did last time I took a look at it. What did you say?
I saw my reflection, and my eye was messed up. Like you guys saw before.
I mean, it was a little bit scratched before. I don't think it's enough to throw a cup.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It was a little bit scratched before. I don't think it was enough to throw a cup.
That was more my fear that something had gotten back hold of me.
Yeah. Funny thing about alcohol, it'll make you forget a lot of things, and also make you remember a lot of things you don't really want to from time to time.
So I think you're good. I think you're good for the night, Cass.
I think me and alcohol don't mix.
Well, me and alcohol certainly do mix, and she's gonna down the rest of her cup, and she's gonna look at that bar fight. She's like, "Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go kick someone's ass."
Amazing. At this point, Roxy, you walk up to the Laughing Lamia Inn and Tavern. A orc man flies out through the window, lands in the gutter nearby, drunk off his ass, right? Through another window that wasn't previously broken to another unbroken window, flying out is a gnome that just threw him out, that lands nearby. As you realize, there's a tavern brawl going on.
She'll walk in. She doesn't want to get involved in this tavern brawl. She just does she see anybody there?
You walk on in, and you see currently your groups in a corner at a table, like looking at Casimir, sort of like making sure he's okay. And then you see these guys stand up, take a shot, roll back their sleeves, and start walking up to what looks to be this tough, tall, sort of like human fighter type.
And I deck the shit out of him. Just
He flats out, just flat out falls to the ground, almost unconscious immediately. His halfling friend says, "Oi!" Jumps on your back like a little face hugger, wraps around your head, and starts to like pull on your hair as the fight continues. Amazing. Roxy, you can just like walk up to your friends. You do some like maneuvering and acrobatics to avoid some of the strikes as these people are just like throwing chairs and food across.
Welcome to the party.
What the fuck is going on?
I may have started a fight on accident.
So they get in there and start fighting.
What?
Yeah, you started it, right? You wanted to fight? Is that what it is?
I
It was
don't
an
wanna fight them.
accident.
You overhearing this slightly is this like 9-foot tall crocodile man barbarian who looks to Casimir and says like, "Yeah, let's fight."
can I jump on him?
You jump on him, tackle him to the ground immediately.
This
It's like,
kind of looks fun. Bryn's gonna turn into a bear and help Sky.
Oh my
holy shit! And then a bear runs in. The waitresses are not doing anything to stop it. They are cheering on and playing the music louder at this point, as this is an adventure inn, right? These people are all unhinged, right? This is expected, right? As music is playing louder, a giant bear runs into the place. You see another druid looks on over, says, "All right, let's do this." They turn themselves into a giant snake and go to wrestle the bear to try and wrap around the bear. There's just a bunch of... No one is going for like lethal strikes here. Everyone kind of understands. We're just all having fun, and we're at a very civilized place where we're not allowed to just hit stuff, right? So this is a great way to get our like emotions and anger out. And it's just a tavern brawl that goes on for the next 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes pass, all of you guys are totally free to like join and have some fun here. You're left with bruises that'll be gone by the morning. 20 minutes later, we see everyone sort of sitting in different corners. The waitresses are bringing over tables, casting mending on some of them to fix them up. Food and drinks are brought out, and everyone's giving looks of like, "All right, good times around."
I lost a tooth.
The little halfling that jumped on your face, Sky, sort of looks at you. He's like, one of his eyebrows is entirely, like the row of eyebrows are fully missing. He gives you a look of like, not bad. He walks off. The guy turned himself into a snake, turns back into himself. It's just this like half-elven man kind of looks over to the bear of like, "I barely made it out of there," and walks off.
She only went, so we can't kill them, not even for puns.
People committed worse crimes and walked away free. It's fine.
She's gonna hear that comment and she's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna go to the bar. I'm sure she knows all about people committing crimes and walk away. The person just walked away with a coin of fucking money. She's gonna go to the bar and just get a drink.
Yeah, there's all kinds of drinks you would enjoy. There's some nice wine, there's some like powerful alcohol, whiskey, scotch type of stuff, anything you really want. They have access to just about everything here. They import from just about everywhere. They got some from Wildmount as well, from like Camorda and from Port de Mali and stuff like that. So
Yeah, she'll get wine from Port de Mali.
Yeah, absolutely. They serve the wine to you, they set up the tables and everything, and you guys are sort of left. Casimir, you're spending some time trying to like sober yourself up, but this whole drinking thing is a little more complicated than you originally thought. So, not that you ever had the chance to sit down and share a drink with a friend or anything like that. Your upbringing was very much so isolated. So this both feels good, but it feels that, your senses are not fully tuned up when you are, tipsy or inebriated.
Noted. He's not comfortable getting drunk ever again.
Hey, just drink some tea. You'll be all right. Like it's just water, and then have some tea, and you'll be fine. You'll recover.
I'll tell
Just
you
Bryn
what.
just slaps him on the back.
In the morning, find yourself the greasiest, nastiest looking breakfast you can find. It will help with the headache that you're going to experience because you don't drink an awful lot of water from what I see.
Why don't you drink water, Cass?
I drink water.
I mean, you look peckish.
I don't know what you mean.
Kind of like gestures at like his frame. You don't strike me as the sort to overly take care of yourself on a conscientious level.
I drink water
How often?
when I'm thirsty.
Which
Hey, that's too late,
is-
Lane. If you're thirsty, it's too late. Get dehydrated.
Yeah.
As you guys are talking here as well, another like patron walks in and they sort of look around and we realize this is a silver dragonborn that we recognize. We see Unzu show up, right? She looks around. I think she first sees you, Roxy, there at the bar. And she walks up, places her hand on your shoulder, says, my friend, you have returned.
Yeah, we're back.
Good to see you. And she looks back to the rest of the group, gives a little wave, says, before sort of intending to head that way, but kind of looks to you first and says, how long have you been back?
You just got
Did
back.
everything... Ah, good. Did everything go well?
No, it didn't.
And she gives you this sort of worried look, says, are you well? Do you need healing?
No, I'm fine, Manzu. Yeah, thank you though.
All right. I've been practicing a little with my new skills and abilities since you guys have been gone. I'm ready to aid you whenever you call for my aid.
All right, well, maybe soon. I think we have to go somewhere for Vassal, so maybe.
Ah, the weird guy. Right.
Yep.
All right.
weird guy.
Very well. He has been cordial enough to allow me to stay at his magic house.
How's that
he-
been?
Very awkward. I don't think I've been more awkward in my entire life, old or new. He spends a lot of time quietly staring, and it is a little jarring, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I could understand that.
He has a arm that I think is made not of flesh, because I think I've seen him point a finger at a lamp, and then a little flame came up, but it wasn't like magic flame came up. It just sort of like, like I saw some sparks and then a fire showed up out of his like tip of his finger.
Man
Yeah.
has a bick in his fingertip.
Yeah, he's a construct. Partial construct.
He is.
Yeah,
Nobody told
yeah.
me that. Does that mean he has no soul and no afterlife to go to?
I mean, I'm not the one to know that. I mean, if he's half person, I don't know how much of a person he is.
What is a half person?
I mean, Vassal, I don't know what he is. I mean,
Oh.
he did something to himself that made him partially like a construct. I don't know how much of him is a construct.
I suppose that's good to know, actually.
So technically, when he's staring at you, he's like powering down, and it just looks like he's staring at you. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's like looking at a what might be like a blind person and thinking they're looking right at you, but not
Yeah.
really. They're just sort of looking that way.
And that happened to me one
Well, now
time.
I
A
feel
blind man was
awkward.
looking at me and seductively eating something, and I thought he was like flirting, but he was just blind.
They were Can you explain what seductively eating something means?
Does a person have food nearby her?
Yeah, there's like a guy eating. There's like an older human man. He's like a wizard with a wizard hat. He's got a thing of like tacos next to him, and he's slowly eating.
She's gonna put a gold down and take one of his tacos, and then
What
she's gonna seductively eat the taco to show her.
Make me a performance roll to seductively eat tacos, please. You gotta have to explain. Like, I can almost imagine what that is meant to look like. 10. You do an alright job. This is not a super high DC, right? She looks at you and stares in confusion of like, I think you're attractive. I think you're very attractive, but I do not find myself drawn to call upon you to be my mate.
I was just showing you how
I'm
to
gonna-
seductively eat a food. I wasn't trying to flirt with you.
I'm gonna
Oh,
from
I see,
across
I
the
see.
way, tap Bella and point. I think Roxy's trying to eat out a taco.
What does that mean?
Oh,
Like,
I
it looks
see.
like she's trying to go down on it, like you would.
I still don't know what you mean.
She's
She's
You'll
ravenous?
learn one day.
and it's yeah.
You'll learn
Uh,
one day.
It's a very weird way to say hungry.
Mhm,
Yeah, Cass, hungry.
Anzu sort of looks to you, Roxy, and says, I will practice this skill
No, no.
until I find a mate of my own.
Oh.
I mean, you know what? You do whatever you feel like. You know, whatever you want to do, Anzu. I mean, you don't have to
It's a
seductively
taco
eat
out of-
someone's taco. You know, I mean,
She grabs
Maybe-
the taco out of the wizard's like little basket thing and says like, hey, what's the deal? He grabs it, crushes it fully in her hand into a snowball and shoves it into her mouth.
there you go.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Whatever
She looks
floats
at the
your boat.
She looks at the wizard and gives him a little up nod and a wink, like a very slow wink. He stands up and leaves the entire tavern.
Wow.
Maybe he's not into tacos like that. Maybe he's scared you were gonna crunch him or something. I'm not sure.
Right.
Someone will
right.
be into that though. You know, don't give up hope.
I will. I will practice this. Thank you. You're a great friend and a teacher. All right, I will. Shall we go to the rest of the group, or do you wish to be left here alone?
No, I'll go with you.
All right. She walks over to the rest of the group, sees you all, gives you all that Beastmaster handshake, elbow to elbow, right? To all of you, sort of friends.
Anzu!
You all return.
And Casimir will give her a hug.
Oh, hugs. We're doing hugs. She taps you on the back and sort of. She's big now. She's at least she's dragonborn, so she's 6'3" or something. She picks you up and gives you a hug and puts you down. She looks to everyone and says, "Dear friends, the ones who have saved me and who I owe my entire life to, I am ready to serve you. If you call upon my life for your intentions, I'm here to do it."
Anzu,
Yes,
I have a
my friend
fucking
Sky.
drink.
Drink. Very well. She grabs a thing of mead from the table, a big frothy beer type of thing, gulps it down, slams it. This was good. This is quite good. It is good to see you all too. Roxanne tells me that your mission was sort of a success.
I mean, how you look at it, I guess.
You're all alive. You have no new scars of battle that I see. Maybe a little points to your shoulder there, Bryn, says that looks like it was a rough fight.
Yeah, I gotta get this restitched. My robe's kind of messed up now.
I am a root speaker, a shaman. I could perhaps do that for you if you don't wish to do it yourself.
Well, fix my coat? I'm not gonna make you fix my coat.
Oh no, I meant the shoulder. I meant the shoulder.
Oh,
I thought you were
I
talking about
thought somebody
stitchings
fixed
on your
it.
shoulder. Oh yeah, but there's still a scar. I think
Oh.
it's a bit of a scar left, barely visible, but still visible.
I don't know. It's kind of
Oh, I-
kind of cool. It's
I
kind
can
of cool.
fix your robe.
Oh,
Ah,
I mean,
a
well, should
romancer.
you do that right now, Cass?
You cast mending and fix up her robe instantly. Anzu nods, says, "In my tribe, we've never had a silkensmith before. This is very impressive."
Silkensmith. I kind of
Uh,
like that.
Like a person who makes clothing from burlap or silk or
You mean-
furs.
Oh, let's not talk about
Taylor?
burlap.
Yeah, we
Uh,
call 'em tailors out here.
Ah, I used to live further down south, way further down south. I think I've explained this sometime before. In the Riffenmist Peninsula, the jungles there, usually we would just catch, kill, or capture whatever boar or wild lion we would find, and turn their hides into clothing. Warm and cold enough to keep us, well, not sweating or freezing too much in the damp jungles of the south. You should truly visit it. The jungles can be quite beautiful if you disregard the entire nation of hobgoblin slavers, cults of Zahir and snake men that live down there, attempting to distract your mind, leading you to pits full of snakes, or perhaps many other dangers down there.
You are a real fucking ray of sunshine right now.
I remember my time there fondly. It was what made me a powerful warrior. It was also what led me down the path of the Ruiner, path I now wish nothing to do with.
Oh, hey, look at that. Glad to see something came of it.
You have shown me, you have spoke with me much, Warrior Sky. You have shown me that devotion, blind as it can be, is a poison dripped directly into my mind.
Yep.
I now have no god.
Huh.
I don't think so, at least. It's odd. My whole life, I thought I could do my healing magic because of Grumsh. But when I realized Grumsh does not heal, but instead breaks, I was confused to how I can still use my healing magic, or why I'm even capable of doing it. I can't explain it. Bryn, you, clocked that immediately, realized, she was like a druid, like a shamanistic druid the whole time. Grumsh had nothing to do with it. It was like nature around her.
Nice. Oh yeah. Does anybody want to go on a wedding next year? I kind of made a promise.
You're getting married, friend Bryn.
No, I'm not getting married. My mom's getting married.
You have a mother.
Unfortunately.
Ah.
Is
Don't we
there,
all have mothers?
Gonna be
Well,
dancing?
most of us.
I'll give you mine, Cass.
I'm gonna go find some water.
You stand up, gravity reverses. You are drunk. Immediately begin to stumble through the tables as he begins to bump into people, looking for the bathroom.
He's like, why don't you have one of these tacos? Fill your stomach up with food or shit. What the fuck is he so goddamn drunk?
He had 2 drinks and he slammed them both.
He is fucking crazy.
You know, it
Yep.
would kind of be really funny if I brought Cass with me, but not if he was an elf or something. That'd be funny.
I mean, is there specifics of who has to go?
It has to be an elf. That was the only thing she said.
I'll go.
Can't hit on my mom though. That's the only thing. She kind of get married, frowned upon.
Hit on your mom.
Yeah,
She's pretty, but she ain't my type.
Yeah, I mean, she's a bitch, so she wouldn't tell me anything. She knows all about my father and wouldn't tell me anything other than to go back to Zephrov and.
So Casimir will come back and attempt to eat the taco the half elven traditional way that he saw Roxanne doing earlier.
Oh god.
Yes. It is, he does what Roxy did, which is, eat it seductively while keeping eye contact, right? Which, he is drunk, his eyes sort of wandering a little bit left to right, his head is on a swivel a little bit here. Cass, make me a performance roll to seductively eat a taco.
Just gonna whistle over, and I hope he eats it just like that at your mom's wedding. That
Oh,
would be fantastic.
that would actually be hilarious. I would fucking love that. I don't know, Sky. You're gonna have to bitch.
Casimir, you swallow the first bite and immediately throw up. You feel it mix with everything and immediately comes back out.
Sorry. Oh, hold on. Brittany's just gonna bring up water. Just okay, don't do that at the wedding.
That's wow.
Maybe he's a hot dog person instead of a taco person. I'm not sure.
You see, like stepping up to you and kind of looking you like earnestly and sincerely in your eyes. Anzu sort of looks at you and says, "You and I, we must work on our ways of seduction."
Seduction? What, Anzu?
But Roxanne, she said, and she looks sort of like confused.
You did a great job, Unzu.
I think I'm being messed with.
No, you asked me how the person ate the food, and that's how he ate. It was very seductive, and I thought he was flirting with me.
But why is Warrior Casimir confused about it?
He
then?
is
I thought it
drunk.
was a half-elven tradition to eat tacos that way.
Half elven would.
No, I was just showing Unzu how a man was eating seductively a food at me, and I thought he was flirting with me, but he was just blind.
And Casimir just buries his head in his hands, sits down.
Ah,
Right.
If it's any
that's,
consolation, Cash, I think it'd be really funny if you did that at the wedding.
I think it would be great.
yeah, and Anna's just having a good time. She's glad to see you all. And she's a little more relaxed. She's very much so like she speaks in very sort of like tribalistic manner still, where she refers to you guys as like friend or warrior or something, and then your name, right? She sort of looks, I think, at one point over to you, Bella, and says, "Warrior Bella, I was hoping, if you have some time in the following games, to practice sword fighting and spear fighting with me. My skills have been slowly tarnishing over time. After I've been brought back and given this second chance, I've not had much time to enjoy battle as I once did. I was hoping, as you are a person of great sword skill, I could test my new skills to their full extent on you."
Of course, we must keep your sword sharp, or your spear, or whatever you implement of destruction may be.
She raises her spear and holds it there. People look at her like, "Okay, what's going on?" And she like puts it away. Right, of course, thank you. And as she sits down, there's more drinks that sort of arrive and such. They keep sending you tacos. People see Casimir show up, and the other adventurers keep ordering tacos for you guys and sending him over.
Man, I love tacos.
Tacos are pretty good tacos, honestly.
you like them Feywild samplers, don't you?
You know, that's a particular flavor that I am keen to, yes.
Very floral, huh?
Yes. Very exotic.
Like eating a
Excellent.
fucking salad.
Oh no. Excellent. As the night slowly sort of continues, it is sort of like late evening at that point. You see some people kind of clearing out. Some new people arrive late in the evening. There's some, like last time you guys saw here, there's some gambling going on, people playing card games and such, some dice games and such. Nothing big, just like for fun, having drinks and such. As you guys once again realize, like, all right, if we ever need people to go do a quest that we don't have time for, or we don't feel doing ourselves, we can totally just ask people here. These are hirelings, right? You can hire these people to like go and quest for you as long as you pay them a large portion, not a large portion, but a portion of whatever the reward would be. They're more than happy to do it. There's all kinds of mercenary types, right? There's clerics, druids, rogues, warlocks, fighters, barbarians, whatever, everything you can find in here. I think
I do have a quick thing.
Yeah.
With it kind of like winding down a little bit tonight, I want to like steal a moment where I can just like slip out and go make a call.
Sure. You slip out, sort of step outside. It's very cold. It's a cold sort of autumn, fall, I suppose, night here. It's like, I don't know, 11:30, almost midnight type of stuff, right? As you step on out, look at the city around yourself, and what kind of message are you sending, and to whom?
Well, the only sending stone I have, it goes to Kai.
Mm-hmm.
I should get one for Samira. I'll invest in that in a moment.
Message in the middle of the night. You up? That's it. To Samira.
You awake?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll invest in a better sending stone for her.
Right, right.
Maybe do it like 2 times or 3 times or something.
Ah.
Um,
All right, but
the-
you have the one right now.
yeah. So, she'll pick it up and rub it in her hand for a moment before she speaks into it. It's come to my attention that things are not how they seem. Have thoughts about things that are not accurate. Would you be willing to meet me?
I've been asking you for a lot of these today, but I'm gonna need a persuasion roll.
Fuck!
I'm gonna need a persuasion roll with disadvantage because, as you now know, you are the fake Sky. You are the all that is evil that is left of her after she ascended.
But I'm the good me.
No, I know that. I trust you, but the Sending Stone says the person on the other side of the Sending Stone doesn't trust you. 15? 15 is not bad still, even with the disadvantage. A message arrives briefly after as you sort of stand there leaning, sort of like leaning against just like one of these like closed shop doors. Middle of the night, people sort of heading to their homes, the hustle and bustle. You feel that sort of feeling of when you had like a lot of alcohol, so your like chest and neck feel really hot, but the cool air of the street is incredibly welcoming. Even still, you feel your throat sort of choke up as you speak the words to a person you at one point trusted the most. As you speak on out with your 15 here, a few moments later, a answer arrives through the stone to you that says, you keep trying this deception tirelessly. Get it through your head. I want nothing to do with you. That is the end of the message. Guy standing there in the street, like half drunk. What do you do? What is like the reaction she has? As I mean, obvious, like heartbreaking, right? Stuff. As you speak out, try to reach out after everything you've learned and just shut down.
I think she kind of like being in this like half drunk state where she's a little bit more emotional, just kind of like wraps her arms around herself and like drops kind of like down to a crouch and does that like self-pity hug and like cry when like someone dumps them unexpectedly.
Yeah. You feel something deep within your chest, like a fragment of a heart you're missing. Yeah, ache, painfully ache. Yeah, and there is a sense of powerlessness and loss of control that you hoped you had forgotten. That slowly billows back up to the surface. And I think Sky probably doesn't return back into the bar for quite some time, maybe, yeah?
Oh, she's gone for a while.
Okay. The rest of you guys sitting inside, music playing on as you're sitting there. You guys see, as the clock strikes midnight here and people are sort of clearing out, you see a person walk in. Few people turn heads to look at this this tall, handsome stranger who walks on through, doesn't talk to anyone, goes straight to the bar. He has a sort of leather armor he wears with a hood over his head currently. You see from underneath the cloak quite a few overgrown scars and locks of sort of long sort of dreadlocks type of sort of bleached white, like pure white hair. As he turns and orders just a room for night and is about to like head up to the room, you guys see another familiar face underneath the hood. You guys haven't seen this guy in a long time, but you see Jorik.
Abs.
You see Abs. You see Hunter Jorik Lemensh, who sort of enters, leaves this. He looks out his cat-like eyes as he looks across the bar. Everyone, these like tough-looking, dangerous adventurers, right, as well, look at him and immediately I was like, oh god, this guy's like a whole different thing, right? And they sort of look away immediately. He looks across the room, but it doesn't like look at you guys. He just looks to people that like meet his gaze momentarily. And you see he just like pays for his room and starts heading up, not wanting to like bring any attention to himself. Do you guys like stop him or say anything, or he just like heads upstairs?
Oh yeah, she'll elbow Bryn and she'll scream out, "Hey Abs, where you going?"
He stops. You see, he sort of twitches and looks on over, and yeah, you see this like human individual, witcher kind of vibes, right? Tall, broad of shoulders, sort of handsome in that sort of like a lot of like scars and rugged type of way. He looks kind of confused to see you all here, but then slowly sort of approaches and gives a little kind of nod and a smile. Says. Well, look what the Death Dragon dragged in. Been a long time since I've seen you all. Still alive and kicking. How's monster slaying for you guys?
Hasn't been terrible.
I mean, we went to the Underdark.
Underdark? Shame. I was hoping to visit sometime in the future myself. Would have been a fun trip.
I mean, it's not not like we knew.
Yeah, it's not like we're like, hey, totally planning on going to the Underdark next month.
Right. Well, it'd be nice to be included next time. He just gives you the sort of like half, like a cocky shrug, sort of like it'd be nice to be thought of next time, maybe.
I'll keep that in mind. I have my own plans to go down there.
You see his eyebrow furrows and his nostrils kind of flare for a moment. He says, he's drunk as a skunk. What happened to him?
He had a seductive taco and some alcohol.
Oh my god, it's a seductive taco.
He cocks his head, looks over, looks back, says, a seductive taco.
I don't know what they mean.
I am not gonna try to understand what that is. But it is good to see that you're all alive. Any of you thought about my offer? Joining the Order? Becoming a blood hunter?
I mean...
Why does everyone keep trying to get us to join them?
It's because we're great, that's why.
Because you're a force. You're an incredible force in this slowly moving world that can make a difference. And anything... worth making a difference is worth doing, yeah?
I mean, we have to go kill some slavers in the Underdark. You want to join us when we go do that?
Slavers in the Underdark. That's 90% of the Underdark. Yeah?
That's right.
That's a lifelong quest. I have an extended lifetime due to my elixirs.
Bring it on to at least a small amount of people.
I'd be interested in helping. If, listen. I do my own kind of good in this world, and that is slaying monsters. That's what I'm trained to do. I'm not here to kill men of foul morality and allegiances. Men's hearts can be changed, but there is infinite men out there. Monsters, however, are few and far between. They are the ones that need culling.
Yeah, Purple Worm was down there. There was some like rats with some brains, some birds with some brains. There was a lot of crazy shit.
You might be interested to know Archon the Cruel is around too.
He sort of furrows his brow and looks over and says, Archon the Cruel, I know that name too well, He's no ally of the patron we serve at the Claret Orders.
Oh, no, I didn't mean he's your friend. I mean, he's bad and you probably wouldn't want to know about it.
Oh, like I said, I don't hunt men, zealots, paladins, or otherwise. But it seems that you all are making quite some waves. Rubbing shoulders with Archon the Cruel didn't peg you for that kind of a group, but I suppose.
Me either.
Yeah, kind of just happened, you know.
Are you allies with him? Are you...
No.
Oh no, he tried to murder
No.
us.
Oh, I see. I thought you were... Right. Very well. Well, that sounds pretty rough. I can't offer you any protection. That's not what I do. But if he has a monster in his employ that needs to be slain, I can
Is a
take care of
Minotaur
that
a
for you.
monster?
Oh, he's
How about
kind of
an
dead.
undead Minotaur?
He looks to you, says, is Tiefling a monster?
No.
They're a
Well,
person.
Some
Minotaur's a
people consider
person.
us monsters.
I've seen and killed monsters. You are not a monster. It's what you do that makes you a monster. But seriously, if he has a dragon or a shadow beast or a manticore or anything
We
like
kind of those
that,
demon dragon things, right? Yeah, those demon dragons.
demon dragons. Can you be a little more specific?
Oh, you talking about the things that were flying around, right?
Yeah, the ones that beat the shit out of me.
His minions.
That is not a name of a creature that I can help you with. Minion is literally anything.
Look, there's a lot of things to kill in the Underdark, not people. You know, like you leave the people to us, but there's a lot of beasts down there.
All right. Last time, you helped me heal a beast I thought I would have to kill. A rare breed of a monster that doesn't serve vile impulses. So, I suppose you haven't called in that favor yet. The Shadow Dragon thing was really a privilege. Quite enjoyed that. So, if you ever need something slain, I still owe you a favor. And from what you're mentioning, from what you're saying, these dragon demons sound a lot like Abishai. Might want to look into them.
That might...
And he gives you a tome that is marked with, like, there's like a big abyssal demon sign on it. And he gives you a tome of, like, lore about demons.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Nice.
It's a travel journal of mine. Don't really need it anymore. I was hoping to pass it on to whoever I would train to become a blood hunter, but it seems that you guys are in some deep shit, huh? So...
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm staying here for the night, and then I'm heading my way down past the sewers. There is some mentions of a dangerous creature living underneath the city that I need to take care of.
Doesn't happen to be near where all the fire stuff's happening, right? Or no?
Kind of squints and says, "You're aware of it."
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well, you want to come with us to do what we were gonna do anyways?
Yeah, we gotta go down there anyway. We have to get some shit, I don't know, down there. Kill some elementals or something like that.
Why are you all going down there?
Job.
From a...
Weirdo.
Okay, you're a
What a
weirdo.
face,
You're
though.
all weirdos. That doesn't help at all.
It's just a person who just needs something from down there.
He sort of looks kind of like around, a little confused. Or not confused, but just sort of like mulling it over. He says, "Not a lot of people even know about the presence of this creature that I seek. I don't even fully know what it is. I just know it has vast fire-based powers."
Oh, it's a
I mean,
good thing. We have fire
I'm interested
resist,
in
right?
Go ahead.
That's a good thing we have fire resist potion that you
Well,
might need
I mean,
all
I got fire shield. I'm not too worried about it. But have you been hearing anything about like the planes in general just being unstable since you've been traveling, Jork?
He sort of thinks on it for some time. He says, "I myself am mostly a field agent of the Claret orders. I've not heard anything specific about any particular plane, but the Claret director, Teresa, my superior, she mentioned something about some sort of accumulation of the elements. Something about things happening on different planes as they are happening on ours as well. There's a lot of trouble, it seems, everywhere in our universe. What that means, I'm not exactly sure, but it seems that whatever is happening, it's all happening at a similar time.
That's kind of another reason why I wanted to go down there and see what was going on.
Well, best I am informed, there's this powerful group of mages here that act in Tal'Dorei called Arcana Pensophical. They set up some magical stones down there after that tyrant dragon Thordak was destroyed. These stones were supposed to prevent the spreading of the influence of the fire elemental plane, but they've been faulty as of late, and the fire has been spreading to a very dangerous point. This, I believe, to be the work or the consequence of a presence, whatever this monster is, that I've been sent by the Claret director to slay.
Well, fancy that. Seems like we've bound to the same area then if everybody agrees to go down there.
Right. Well, I will leave you to your decision. I intend to do it as expediently as possible. Let me know if you're interested in working together. If this is not of your interest, as always, I'll do it by myself. It just takes a lot more preparation if I can't rely on others, like I did last time. Plus, you all are pretty clever. You come up with some innovative ideas when it comes to situations of duress and combat.
Yeah, we'll talk about it and we'll let you know.
Right. He sort of looks over to you, Bryn, and says, I see that your explorations are still ongoing. Did you ever find whatever you were looking for in Stilben?
I think I found more than I bargained for.
Right. I understand those pages you guys have shown me last time are still with you all. I hope, at least.
Yeah, we got him.
He looks over to Casimir and says, get him to bed as soon as possible. Right.
Oh.
Alright. He looks to you, Roxy. He says, when we last met, you spoke to me about a person you know, sort of similar to myself. I think I know who you were talking about.
Do you?
He nods. He says, when I went back to our monastery or hideout, whatever you wish to call it, I spoke to the Claret director, Teresa. She had mentioned on a individual who was a very much so a person of interest to us, someone we were hoping to join our cause, but this was very, very long ago. Did you, I don't remember if you said the name before to me, He sort of looks you up and down and says, this ranger, correct? His name was Jonas.
It was. Yes, it is, actually.
My superior believes that, or believed that this person would have made an excellent member of our order, a monster slayer. But we lost all contact. You asked me when we first met if I've encountered this person before, if I knew them, and I told you no, and I do not know them. But what I've learned and what you're saying are sort of contradictory, that this person existed, and you say they still do, yes?
Yes.
If you think that he would be interested in destroying monsters, much like me and my own do, I think I'd be very much so interested in finding this person for you.
I think he would love to kill monsters. He did it a lot in the maze.
Very well. I will look into it. But for now, I wish to rest. Tomorrow I will find you, and we'll decide if you wish to come into the flaming crater with me. Good night to you all. It's been a pleasure seeing you all again. He spins on his heel, walks upstairs. You all realize at this point, like, where's Sky? We haven't seen her in a little bit. You all step outside as the place... They don't close, right? They stay up all night. But as you guys all step outside, I think you all see... Like, Sky, were you trying to, like, hide yourself anywhere? Or do they step out and find you in this sort of, like, vulnerable state?
Yeah, she's not hiding. She's just down.
Yeah. You all exit. And you see there, weeping, like, arms wrapped around her, like, knees, is Sky. A sending stone, like, at her side, on the floor next to her. She looks up to you all, you look to her, and I think that moment you guys see the stone, you see her, you sort of like, you realize something has happened, right? And I think as everyone sort of gathers around Sky there, that's where we're going to end the session for tonight. We had a few hours of just being in the tavern here, or this very last moment of vulnerability here. If you guys wish to do any text RP over the week. We've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of work today, friends. We went on out. We wrapped up our business in Singorn. We brought back one of the members of the Red Path. We learned a lot more information. We know some things are going to be happening in the future, but we have a lot of time to rest and restore our strength and prepare our minds. Some dark secrets still loom just beyond the horizon, but that'll have to wait. For now, on this drunken eve, you gather around your weeping friends as the adventure continues the following day. Thank you all so much for playing, as always. This was a lovely time. I'm sorry for mentally torturing you guys, but it's what I truly
It's
love
great.
to do. It's what I truly enjoy. I'm like a psychic vampire. So, yeah.
Casimir's got some trauma and drama to deal with. Woohoo!
Yeah. We got to see some of our old friends. Anzu's doing much better. She's fully used to sort of being a silver dragonborn chick now. She is learning the ancient half-elven techniques of seductive taco eating.
She's gonna convince like this bar person to like make a Taco Tuesday at this place.
Seductive Taco Tuesday. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, we got to see Jorik again. He's been out there. He's doing his badass stuff. He's a lone wolf type character. But seeing you guys here, it seems that your guys is sort of going about doing other stuff has increased the danger potential of whatever it is that might be underneath Iman in those fiery pits. Where now one of the members of the Claret Order is this like badass blood hunter that you guys have worked with before that was sort of fighting that giant gray render that you guys helped them sort of subdue and heal is here as well. So, yes, we'll be dealing with all of that next time, finding out whatever it is down there, and maybe doing some research, maybe a little bit of downtime even, perhaps. We got some stuff to learn, right? So we got these mentions of Zephyra, we got these strange markings of that sort of like that portal that the Red Path keeps opening, the skull with that like triangle in it and such. Different kinds of mentions of Widibok, this ancient gnomish place that was buried underneath giant feet, as well as a magical destroyed tower of Retis, where a powerful mage used to cast mighty spells until he went mad. And apparently a meteor is going to be landing there, bringing what might be the most important scroll out of most important page out of these that we've been collecting so far.
Is this what Casimir dreamed?
Sorry?
Is this what Casimir dreamed a long time ago?
I could not tell you what you're talking about. I simply have no clue. I simply have no context for it. Well. More of that soon enough. We'll find out more soon enough. But for now, friends, GG's. Thank you all so much for playing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. And I hope to catch you all in a few days for some more Jorhas adventuring. Emily, I hope we didn't go too long
no, it's
here.
fine.
We wrapped it up a little earlier than we usually would here.
Okay, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out. That was our adventure tonight. A lot of role playing, a lot of antics. I generally don't get to let Casimir be loose, so that was kind of fun to do. Bro, Seductive Talk was about an hour ago. It was funny. You should listen to it. We're gonna go ahead and read out. Thank you so much for hanging out. Love y'all. We're gonna go see if this person's on. We're gonna go see our friend. And, yeah. We're going to see Anne Escapes. Thank you, Elray. Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. All right, everyone. Have a lovely night. We're going to go see Anna.
Welcome in, friends.